Yeah.
I like Julio White.
So do I.
Yeah.
Just to hear him say, did I do that?
The couple first met during the pandemic when they both worked out at UCLA's track, going public as a couple in 2022. And it's the first marriage for both of them.
He would have to, once he consummated the marriage, stand at the edge of the bed and go, did I do that?
Of course.
Hey, Kath, is he friends with Freddie Mitchell? Isn't he friends with Freddie Mitchell?
Yeah, I think that's why, right? They used to go to the Sixers games
Yeah.
together. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you know he's very funny in A Big Fat Liar?
He's awesome.
He's terrific in that movie.
In that movie because he plays himself,
Yeah.
Julio White, and Paul Giamatti's character can't stop calling him Urkel. And he plays it off awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So he's 47 years old and now a married man. Drew Barrymore has put her Hamptons home up for sale, and it can be yours for a cool $8.45 million.
Come on.
Kathy, and this is it's like a mile from the beach, so it's not beachfront, but it's a beautiful home.
You know what? Well, this is just my little side note about the Hamptons. The people rarely go to the beach there.
You're exactly right. Like Sag Harbor, all those well-moneyed areas, they don't give a rat's ass about the beach.
I mean, it's different than Montauk. You guys know I go to Montauk every year. Everyone goes to the beach in Montauk. If you go and you own one of these $8 million houses in the Hamptons, you don't really go to the beach.
I would say this, if you're interested, now we know there's a huge squatter community.
Yeah, right.
You go squat.
I might go squat.
So when you own a beachfront home, do you own the beach?
It depends on the beach.
Yeah.
And if in California, you do not. It's automatically, every bit of beach in California is public land.
Okay.
But in some other states, there are different laws. And
What
so
about
you,
the water?
you do not own the water.
3 feet back is government property.
Well, okay.
Press, did you say this is beachfront?
No.
No, right?
Well, Steve was just telling you about
It's a
it.
mile away.
Yeah, so it's in Sagaponack, New York. Is that how you say that?
It's close, yeah. I think that's the way it is.
Features
Sagaponic.
Sagaponack? Automatic.
It features a 6,800 square foot house that includes 7 bedrooms, 6 full baths, and sits on 1.7 acres. The 1920 renovated barn boasts a number of nice features, including an in-ground pool, a bocce court,
Yes.
and separate guest house, all surrounded by lush greenery. And it says it sits less than a mile from the beach. So, yeah, if you got 8.4 mil, knock yourself
That's
out.
actually a steal out there.
So, Miss Teen USA 2023 is resigning just days after Miss USA, Noelia Voigt.
The hell's going on?
Her name is Uma Sofia Srivastava, who took home the 2023 title in September, shared a lengthy statement on Wednesday announcing her departure because of her, quote, personal values, and they no longer fully align with the direction of the organization.
So that's what the other woman said.
After months, well, no, the other gal said it was a mental health.
Yeah.
After months of grappling with the decision, she said, I have made the choice to resign from the title of Miss Teen USA 2023. I will always look back on my time as Miss New Jersey Teen USA fondly, and the experience of representing my state as a first-generation Mexican Indian American at the national level was fulfilling in itself.
She's been doing some really good work helping U.S. Americans get maps.
U.S. American.
Yeah, because a lot of people, a lot of U.S. Americans don't own maps. And
I'm surprised these pagements exist. I don't know anybody that watches them anymore.
Yeah.
Were they
There's not
even
a lot of
there?
prestige
Yeah.
where when you win the title, it's just we've been through a lot over the last decade or so, and I'm just surprised that they're sticking around.
Yeah. In the resignation statement, Srivastava vowed to continue her philanthropy with the Lotus Petal Foundation and the Bridge of Books Foundation that as she completes her junior year of high school.
Is she still going to compete in those gurning competitions?
Srivastava added, at the end of the day, I'm so lucky to have had the privilege of this experience, but this is just a chapter, and I know the story of my life would truly be incredible. So, this was wild. I didn't know this whole fiasco about Frankie Valli, the singer of the Four Seasons. He was officially granted a restraining order against his oldest son, Francesco.
That's fun to say.
That will last 3 years.
What the
Francisco,
hell?
that's fun to say.
Yeah, the Four Seasons singer, who is 90 now, was granted a legal order of protection last month 4 days after the restraining order was granted, Valli received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His wife, Jackie Jacobs, and his twin sons, Emilio and Brando, were there to support him. Francesco has been accused of threatening to kill his father, allegedly owes his brothers tens of thousands of dollars, and has spent time in jail after an arrest for drug possession. The restraining order reportedly says that Francesco cannot contact his father or brother Emilio, and he must also stay at least 100 yards away from their homes and workplaces.
I forget. So obviously, we were talking about the Jersey Boys, and that really is as familiar as I am with the full story. He had a lot of tumult in his life. Obviously, there was the band member who racked up a whole bunch of huge debt. Wasn't there something with his daughter or something as well?
Yep, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Both Valli and Emilio filed temporary restraining orders against Francesco that were granted in April, and Emilio claimed that Francesco repeatedly physically threatened to kill or harm him and their father. Emilio also alleged that Francesco is addicted to opiates and was relying on Valli's help financially. However, according to Emilio, their dad will only continue to help Francesco money-wise if he enters a residential drug treatment program. A source close to family said that the drama is heartbreaking, obviously, for everybody in the family.
In fact, they say Francesco is no longer fun to say.
Oh, that's too bad. Francesco is the son of Valli and Randy Clohesi, the singer's third wife. He dabbled in acting. He made appearances in movies like The House Bunny and Reach Me. And here's the background story, Steve. Frankie's been married 4 times, has 3 sons with Clohesi, and also became a dad to 3 daughters, Celia, Antonia, and Francine, during his marriage to his first wife. Now, Celia died in February of 1980 during an accident, and then 6 months later, Francine died from an accidental drug overdose at 20 years old, and that's covered in the Jersey Boys movie.
Yeah, wow.
So he's had some
heavy-duty stuff.
Some tough moments in his life, and obviously it continues on. He's 90 years old.
Can't you get a break? At 90, you should get a break, right?
You would think so, right? All right, have you guys seen the show on Netflix called Baby Reindeer?
Yeah, 3 episodes in.
Okay.
I've seen it advertised.
It's apparently a true story of this woman who stalks this guy and goes crazy.
Oh, I have it in my. Just added it to my list, so I would remember to go back and watch it.
Okay. Well, the real life inspiration behind Martha, who's on the show, is apparently hitting back in the show, which reportedly says it's a true story. Martha is a stalker that series creator Richard Gadd claims that he personally had to deal with. Internet sleuths figured out pretty quick who the real life inspiration was, and now she's going to be interviewed by Piers Morgan on his YouTube channel today.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
The woman, Fiona Harvey, says that the whole show is a, quote, load of rubbish and wants to set the record straight.
She's British?
I don't know.
Okay.
I decided to say rubbish like that because it felt fun.
He farted in...
Fiona is apparently considering
He farted in my face.
legal action as well. She said, I don't have any money, but I'm a perfectly capable lawyer, so I will represent myself. Oh, that'll go well.
Yeah, don't they say you have a fool for a client?
And this also sounds like something a stalker would do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know the story.
So
but
apparently she was a working lawyer, had stalked other people, had lost her. It was disbarred or whatever. So
debarredized.
She might have some smarts and stuff like that, but also might be a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's going to be interviewed today on his YouTube channel. I thought this is fun. The stars of the 80s classic 9 to 5, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton are set to be honored later this month at the Hollywood premiere of the documentary called Still Working 9 to 5. The doc explores the impact of the hit comedy as well as women's fight for equality in the workplace today.
Isn't it amazing that they're all still here, still swinging away?
Yeah. Dolly said, who knew that 44 years later, I'd still be working 9 to 5. I believed then, and I believe now, that every person deserves to be paid fairly for their work, no matter who they are. And I think this documentary shows that the struggle continues and that we all need to do our part to help make things better for everybody. The Hollywood premiere will also be a fundraiser for ERA Coalition Forward, the organization focused on gender, racial, economic, and reproductive justice to LGBTQ plus rights. And Parton won't be in person at the premiere, but she's going to share a video message. Oh, that's a bummer that she won't be there for that event. So, but that's cool. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I remember it being great.
I just watched it fairly recently, and I think it kind of holds up.
Yeah, it does.
Nice. So a new version of The Office is coming. We've talked about this. It'll be at Peacock. Not a spinoff, not a reboot, but it's a focus on a new cast set in the same universe as the original show, and it'll still be a mockumentary. The new show will apparently focus on, this is what they've dialed into, a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and the publisher trying to revive it with volunteer reporters.
Interesting.
Domhnall Gleeson and Sabrina Impacciatore are set to star, and production on the show will start in July. So we'll see how that plays out, whether that will be accepted or not. But, they get the right people, it should do fine. Apple TV Plus has announced the premiere date for the upcoming series Lady in the Lake, the 7-part series starring Natalie Portman, based on the best-selling Laura Lippman novel of the same name, centers around housewife, budding investigative reporter Maddie Schwartz, looking into an unsolved murder as she is on a collision course with mother/black activist Cleo Sherwood. The series premieres first 2 episodes Friday, July 19th. So Natalie Portman getting in on the series game.
Taking a break from those pompous perfume commercials?
Yeah. I started watching an Apple TV show yesterday, the one called Dark Matter. Just came out with Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly.
You like it so far?
I do. It's
You jump in on
new.
Everything. You like.
You're pretty quick.
I'm a lot more. I'm like, I have to really be sold on it, but I commend you for sampling.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Well, like Rochelle and I, or Caroline and I, just started watching Yellow Jackets.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Good or bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
All right.
I was like, this is messed up.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought there's
heard good things.
There's too much stuff.
I know.
I don't have the time.
Stop it with this entertainment.
Yeah,
You
please.
asked me if I was watching that. Is it something I would like?
Probably not.
Oh, well, then why did you think I was watching it?
Well, because I thought I had heard you mention it one time, and I would have been surprised had you been watching it. And so that's why I'm like, Heather, you watch a show, Yellow Jackets?
It is strange how we find TV shows nowadays. I mean, Casey turned me on to Fargo, and that started a decade ago.
Yeah.
Like the first season of Fargo, and it's a great show, but it just lay fallow in my mind. I loved the movie, and I never thought about the TV show, and then Casey started raving about it. But you started watching it many, many years after it came out, too,
Yeah.
I love when you come across a show, though, like that, and you see, and you're like, oh my God, there's 3 seasons.
Exactly.
This is great. I can't wait to
Yeah.
get into it.
It is fun to
Totally.
binge.
Yep.
I still never did Game of Thrones. I jumped in for a little bit, and so these things I just cast it off to the ether. But sometimes I have to jump on it fairly quickly, and that's how, like Shogun. Love it. Fallout, obviously, got on that quickly.
Yep.
But I think that's my modus operandi. I don't, if it's been out for a couple of years, I probably won't get to it.
And then one last story. NBC has made some decisions on its upcoming 2024-25 broadcast season. The network's going to feature Reba McEntire's return to situation comedy with Happy's Place, starring her alongside former Reba co-star Melissa Peterman. NBC also renewed George Lopez's Lopez versus Lopez for a 3rd season and canceled rookie comedy Extended Family with John Cryer.
Oh, man.
That's too bad. I like him. Pilots for Suits LA and Grosse Pointe Garden Society have yet to film, and a decision will be made on them down the road. But they made those announcements.
It's weird because years ago, I would remember they would release the TV Guide Fall Preview. And that would be full of shows, scripted shows, and you'd read the little synopsis and you get excited. The ratio of actual scripted shows on network TV is dramatically lower than it's ever been.
Yep. All right, we're ready for the clips now. Pretty Little Liars returns today. The theme of this season is summer school. In this clip, star Bailey Madison talks about being part of an iconic reboot.
I remember PLL was like one of the first shows that I realized what it was like to be a fan when something new comes on every week, and I admired those girls, and now I get to call some of them my friends and my peers and my lights in my life. But it's an honor I don't take lightly, and it's something that my younger self dreamed of genuinely, and so it's very full circle and kismet and lovely.
Up, huh?
Pretty Little Liars Summer School debuts today. You'll find it on Max. Here's our next clip. Following 4 seasons of her pandemic-born show, Selena and Chef, shot entirely in her own kitchen, Selena Gomez is joining chefs in their own environment with the new series, Selena and Restaurant. And in this clip, Selena talks about her low-key midweek meals.
If it's a random Tuesday night, I'm definitely eating something my Nana made probably the night before. I live with my grandparents, so we are always in the kitchen. We're always cooking and we have leftovers. So I'm pretty sure we'll be ordering and it's got to be from home.
What about our huge freaking Hooters, huh?
Selena and Restaurant airs tonight on Food Network and also streams on Max if you want to check that out. All right, there you go. Your entertainment report. All you need for today to bring you up to speed on everything. Not really, but
I think so.
We have a new school that has been chosen for coolest teacher of the year. It's Penridge High School. We just spoke to Allison Ferriola of Conestoga. Very cool person and very happy. She said she's been trying to win this for 11 years. So her dream has come true. And Penridge, tomorrow morning, we will announce around 6 a.m. Who the next coolest teacher is. And if you go to Penridge and you want to vote, it's easy. Just text the word teacher. The word teacher, not your teacher's name. Text the word teacher to 39333. We will send you the voting link, and you will be underway, my friend. We'll take a break, come back in a moment. Don't forget, Good Money It, your first shot at winning $1,000, is up at 8 a.m., so we're less than an hour away from the cash. Stay put, and we'll be right back.
Episodes into Game of Thrones.
Excellent.
Oh.
Yes.
Is she naked yet in any of those episodes? Amelia Clarke?
Yes.
I forget how that proceeds early on in the series.
Well, she goes into a scalding hot bath.
Right.
Full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
I do like it.
And Khal Drogo plows that at one point.
Well, yes, he does plow that.
So, so you're saying the nakedness though drops dramatically after like third or fourth season?
Yeah, it's still there, but yeah, it's still.
She comes back with a vengeance.
Yep.
She's got just a wonderful beard.
Reach, you're not far off, man.
Nice beaver.
She's not like one of these workout feeds where things kind of look splayed all the time. Wow. Just natural.
All right, so
Speaking of beaver, I got to show you guys something.
What? Where did you come from?
I know. I got. It's a picture.
okay. Well, yes.
Later.
Okay.
That's just the reminder.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
everyone.
Jot that down.
Okay.
Jot that
I'm
down.
writing it right down right now. Kathy
not my
has
beaver.
pic to show us.
The beaver pick.
I wasn't this excited when Adrian's men came on the show.
Before we do the bizarre file, I should play that piece of audio.
Okay, it's real short.
It's very, very quick. It's not an audio illusion or anything like that. But we don't know where this is. Graduation ceremony. It looks like a college graduation.
It was
ceremony.
college graduation,
And as you walk up, this is your moment. This is your family is there. It's your time to shine. You get your name said with the thousands of people in attendance. You walk across the stage. You grab your diploma that you've worked so hard for
And paid a lot for.
paid a lot for. This is the culmination.
And as you're walking, they announce your name.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is legit.
Julie
Too legit to
Jerkoff.
quit.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Quiet, everyone, please. It's her moment.
Yeah.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, my God.
Forgive me.
Julie Jerkoff, forgive me. Julie Handjob, forgive me. Julie Handy, forgive me. Julie Blumpkin, forgive me. Julie Dirty Sanchez. Oh my God.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Wow. You know what, though? That's better than just having your name read that most people are missing anyway.
You know she was called Jerkoff all throughout all her life.
It had to have been a nickname at some point, or friends. called her
Julie
that.
Jerkoff.
Yeah.
Or
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
If you think about
Julie Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Or that professor won a nice bet.
Yeah.
Said she would do it. And
Julie Salad Tosser. Oh, it's not even close.
If you think about it, in high school, she probably had jerk off as a, I wouldn't even say a nickname. You know, they made fun of her.
Maybe even her
you know.
friends would call her that because it's such an obvious. But
And then she gets to college where everybody matures a little bit and she loses the jerk off
But you
for
know
a couple
what?
of years.
It's
and
clear.
then boom.
Kirkhoff is I mean, you can come into that Kirkhoff.
Dude, She's getting her master's degree. It's a master of science degree as she goes up and hears
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkoff.
Well, and she doesn't. If this is the actual video that we're watching, she doesn't even flinch. The girl, Julie.
You know what? When they're doing it,
you couldn't even hear.
You're so excited, and you're just your focus is walk forward, shake hand, take diploma, walk off. Jerk off.
Jerk off.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkoff.
Well,
you did very well, Miss Jerkoff.
And she sounds so sweet. The
I know.
woman reading the names.
Please come up to the microphone, Julie Jerkoff, and tell everyone how you achieved your success.
Forgive me.
It's the jerk-off way, I think, that we can all emulate.
Oh, my God.
But there's countless names like that are being butchered in similar ceremonies going on. In fact, this very weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be mangled names.
Yep, loads of them. You realize anytime we have a caller named Julie, we will have to play
Julie Jerkoff.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
It made my day yesterday when Casey sent that to me.
So, on that one level, is it sort of cool that you have, since she's probably dealt with it her whole life, at least she has a meme now that's attached to her.
Let's see. We have a caller on the line real quick, and I'm going to go to this caller. Hi, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Julie.
Julie Jerkoff.
Thank you, Julie.
Our first Julie Jerkoff.
You're our first to be given the Julie Jerkoff Award. Following explosive fights on social media, Jersey Shore star Ronnie Margot Ortiz, he and his girlfriend apparently are done. He wrote on Instagram, on an Instagram story to Jen Harley.
Yeah, he's a real silver-tongued devil.
Listen to this. Yeah. Note to self, can't turn a natural-born hoe into a housewife.
Damn.
If you find them in the gutter, then leave them in the gutter.
Note to self.
Yeah. Ronnie later apologized, writing, I want to apologize.
I love you.
Earlier to my fans and especially to Tater Tot Kitty.
Really?
Tater Tot Kitty?
That's somebody's handle. I don't know if that's her handle or whatever, but I want to apologize to Tater Tot Kitty.
Dear Tater Tot Kitty, I'm so sorry for those terrible things I wrote.
I writ. He said, I acted out of my gut and not rationally.
I was not rational.
I should have never.
Apologies to you too, Ravioli Ramon.
He said, I should have never acted in such a manner, spelled M-A-N-O-R.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, man.
It's where he lives. That's the name of the place. I should never have acted in such a manner. That's what it says. As you pull up Preston, it says, I never should have acted in a manner.
And then he writes, my deepest apologizes.
Wait, seriously?
My deepest apologizes.
A-P-O-L-O-G-I-Z-E-S.
All right.
My deepest apologizes.
My deepest apologizes to Tater Kitty.
The pair welcomed a baby girl named Ariana Sky together less than a month ago.
It was wild to be there in the delivery room. The baby fell out of her butthole.
You remember a while back we had a couple of televangelists who were talking about how they needed a new jet.
Yes.
And they
to
were
spread the word.
Jesse Duplantis is his name.
The Duplantis Ministries, right?
Televangelist with a global reach is asking disciples for money to buy a jet that costs $54 million, quote, so we can go anywhere in the world in one stop.
If you're watching the video, he's dressed as I imagine Willy Wonka would dress when he retires.
By the way, well, I'm waiting for Marissa to get the full audio over, but Duplantis' solicitation comes 4 months after another televangelist, the Newark, Texas-based Kenneth Copeland, announced that he had just bought a new Gulfstream 5 jet.
Oh, someone got a little jealous.
I think that's what it is, Steve. I think it's what it is.
Wait a second. What did that son of a bitch just get?
Yeah.
Well, this will not fly in the eyes of the Lord.
I think it's keeping up with the Joneses. The aircraft.
Listen, you insufferable prick, I saw what you just bought, and I'm going to get an even bigger jet. Hallelujah.
The aircraft, when first sold in 1998, carried a $36 million price tag. That's what this other guy
$54 million. You need to understand. You just cannot. You're waiting in line, and you're going through TSA, checking. You're taking your shoes off. That's time wasted from spreading the word of the Lord.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, my.
And then you got the crying kids kicking the back of the seat. I cannot put together a proper homily on a flight with the riffraff, the human filth that populates these various aircraft while I'm trying to get out there and minister to the human filth. That
we got part
funds
one
my
over.
lust for high-end aircraft.
All right, here we go. This is the audio of him pitching this. He made a video of this.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jesse the Planners. Thank you for tuning in to This Week with Jesse. We're going to be talking about aircraft. You know, I've owned 3 different jets in my life, and used them and just burning them up for the Lord Jesus Christ. Now,
Listen to how many times he incorporates the Lord and Jesus Christ into this.
now, some people believe that preachers shouldn't have jets. I really believe that preachers ought to have and go on every available voice, every available outlet to get this gospel preached to the world. Now, I talk about this in a lot of my messages, and I want you to see this if we can, Caleb. Get it back. This is the very first plane that I purchased for the Lord back in December.
The Lord asked me, he said, I need you to purchase the modest aircraft. One engine ought to do it with a decent range, something that's comfortable with a couple of seats and a bed. That's what I need you to purchase. I said, Lord, should we not use this money to feed the poor? He says, we'll get to that.
That I purchased for the Lord back in December 1994. And I said where I began. And then the second one I purchased was in January 2004, where I used to be. The one I'm flying right now, and it's been with me 12 years. I purchased it in January 2006, where I am. Now, I want you to get a shot of this one, Caleb. Now, this is the Star Trek.
It's going to crack you up, because this one is just insanely expensive. And the amount of people who could have benefited greatly from the money wasted on this is just off the charts crazy.
And they're showing pictures of him with the camera as they go by.
Now, this is the Star Trek Enterprise. This is where I'm going. Praise God, but I believe
It's got a transporter and everything. In fact, my next purchase is going to be a spacecraft.
Praise God, but I believe in God for. Let me just say.
Wait, this is what I believe in God for?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
That's what I believe, yeah.
I think he says, praise God, but I believe in gospel.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm going.
There.
Praise God, but I believe in God for.
Yeah.
Let me just say
This is what I believe. Though it work, this is what I believe in God for, so I can fly this way around the world.
Believe in God for a brand new Falcon 7X so we can go anywhere in the world one stop. Now, people say, my Lord, can't you go with this one? Yes, but I can't go at one stop.
Oh! That's it. That's the dilemma. Wait a second. You mean you're going to have to stop?
There's the kicker.
I'm backing that up. Hang on.
Now, people say, my Lord, can't you go with this one? Yes, but I can't go at one stop. And you see, if I can do it with one stop, I can fly it for a lot cheaper because I have my own fuel farm. And that's what's up.
You just said, by the way, on this $54 million jet that it has a 5,000-mile range.
Yeah.
That's not flying around the world with one stop.
It's just,
this is the way to travel. And I know you have issues at home where you can't feed your children.
Back on 93.3 WMMR.
all right, thanks, Kat. A little later on this morning, comedian Miss Pat will be joining us. She's going to be in Atlantic City on Saturday night. So we'll chat with her in the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up on Good Money It as well. Story that we saw yesterday, kind of interesting. Local family went a little viral from this, and found this story on the Daily Mail. So it's like an international
absolutely is
story. So, and it has to do with the Esplund family.
You see the tree removal trucks and trimming trucks around all over the place.
Yep.
You try to every time I see the truck, I try to pronounce their name again.
I know. We used to have a friend of ours who worked here was in that family, and I jokingly would say Esplund.
Yeah.
Because it's spelled ASP. Where is
LUNDH?
DH. Yes. So, but anyhow, you know and they're billionaires. They've made billions of dollars throughout the years. It's like 3 generations in.
Yes, and I curse them all the time. I do. I know we're going somewhere else.
You want to explain why?
Yeah, because when they're clipping somebody's tree in their own personal property and they take up the road, and I have to stop what I'm doing because somebody is having personal work done, it pisses me off. It pisses me right off.
Well, this might piss you off too.
Yeah.
So this gal married into the family. All right, her name is Catherine, and she was formerly Catherine Driscoll, and now her name is Catherine Esplund. And she married Cabot Esplund. His dad is the CEO of the company.
Yeah, so right to the top of the chain there.
Big money.
Yeah.
So they got married. Catherine is, I guess she's a bit of an influencer of some type. She has over 14,600 Instagram followers. I have way more than that, but
I mean, come on.
She attempted to change her handle from Catherine Drisk to Catherine Esplund, but her username was already in use. So, whatever. She reached out to the account owner, who goes by Kate, but her name is Catherine.
And initially it seemed pretty cordial, right?
Yeah. So she started off by saying, just DM'd her and said, "Hi, I was wondering if I could purchase your username from you. Just got married and this is my new name." Well, the gal, Kate, replied, "Well, that's my name too. I just Googled it and it said, selling my username get me banned from Instagram. It's directly against their policy."
Oh, get out.
That doesn't mean that people don't do it under the table.
Right.
But you are technically not allowed to do that. But Catherine, we'll call Kate the gal who has the name of the Instagram account, and Catherine is the one who wants to get it from her.
Right.
So Catherine pushed back saying, "Well, I purchased my username in the past. Actually, that's not true. Celebrities do it all the time. That's how they all have their handles as their full names." And then she writes, "So weird. I didn't know that there was another Esplund family out there. There are no Catherine Esplunds in our family." And then she adds, "I see that you're not that active on here, but started Instagram in 2018, but changed your username 3 times. Is there any way I could get you to change your username one more time?" And then I think she added like a laughing emoji or something like that. Yeah. Well, Kate, who owns the account, explained that her account is her so-called Finsta, which is a term that refers to a fake or secondary account that users create to share content just with close friends and family. I don't have a Finsta. The conversation turns sour at that point, and Catherine seemingly is questioning Kate's identity. Then she turns and goes, "I actually don't believe that that's your name, that it's Catherine."
Oh, no. Here we go. All right.
"I don't believe that your name is Catherine Esplund. Who would make their Finsta their actual name?" And then she goes, "I reported you to Instagram, and they're actually able to tell me your real name. I really hope I don't know you because that's going to be really embarrassing for you."
What the?
So Kate asked the influencer to report her. She's like, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
But Catherine confirms that she and her new husband have already done so. Catherine then continues to question the legitimacy of Kate's name, alleging that her husband's family are the only Esplunds in the United States.
That can't be true.
I don't know, but Kate confirms that she's not American anyway. So to which Catherine replies, "Do you have proof that that is your name? Would love to see that." And then Kate then tells Catherine that if she had been nice about it, she would have considered giving her account her account name for free. But she picked up on some snark
right away.
Yeah, she hits back at the influencer saying, "But you weren't. I reported you for asking me to sell my account and another for harassing me. Have a good day."
Wow.
Because it goes against their policy.
Because I've heard about stuff like this, and there's multiple levels and nuances to this story. But it is, in fact, they will not allow you to sell your name because they don't want people profiteering off the selling of their handles, correct?
Yeah.
So there you go.
So now, with all of this, she posted it to Reddit.
Yes.
To share it with the world.
Wait, which one?
Yeah.
Kate, the girl whose birth name is Esplund. And so she posted it to Reddit. The Inquirer interviewed her as well. And the internet has taken over there. Since then, over 50 different variations of Catherine Esplund has popped up on Instagram.
No. Yeah, now they're all gone.
Yep. And making the handle options of the kind of pushy gal a little bit more limited. And I think she has deactivated her account.
She has. That's very recent. So I think she's kind of taking a little recess on all this. But it just read right from the beginning as that snark level was on high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just married into a billionaire with a billionaire, and maybe is starting to feel a little
Well, and also
powerful.
She's probably if she's married in, so maybe they've been together a little while. She's living that lifestyle a little while. It's hard when that's how you live. When somebody tells you no,
when you.
They don't know how to deal with it.
They have gotten used to.
I don't know this.
Not hearing the word no.
This new Asplunth, but they show pictures of her. And again, you don't know a person simply by pictures and about the tone of the article and what just happened with this.
Right.
But she's walking along with a whole bunch of Hermes bags, and so
that's her life.
Hey, there you go. That's your life. That's cool. But I think you're right, Kathy. Maybe you start to become accustomed to not getting the word no thrown at you.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It galls you.
And if I was Kate, I would have been like, sure, no problem. For $10 million, I will give you
What
this
are we
name.
talking?
Because we have heard of heavy-duty price tags when celebrities have wanted to purchase their names.
You're in a billionaire family. I will absolutely sell you this.
I absolutely loathe snooty people. I just can't stand it. It just boils my blood. I hate it.
I don't know anyone who's puts up with that. I mean, most people, right? I mean,
remember
the snoot.
Remember the family, Preston? The head family.
The side eye. Like
they would never actually turn and look at you.
Yeah.
Who is this?
You
She's
know.
not gonna say
we all know.
on
We're
the
not
air.
going to say who it is. But they're a prominent Philadelphia family. And
Chin up.
Chin up.
And you only look to the side. You don't waste time turning your head.
Too much work.
To actually see that person.
And it was,
look who's over there.
I was with the family, and I was with the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. The daughter was like,
Can you write it down?
yeah, I will write it down. But the mother and the grandmother, it was so fun. Like they actually, like Preston said, they just looked over to see who because I was talking to the daughter, who the daughter was speaking with.
Oh, you know what?
You know who it is.
I wrote that name.
You know what's really funny? Oh, never mind.
What?
Well, I have a personal story with that family.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I
just
thought
showed
that,
Steve.
and I know your personal story, Casey. So this person would look at me directly.
Well, the
I think-
daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The daughter, yes. She was, because we knew her. We were friends with her. But when I was speaking to her, Steve, her mother and her grandmother
Side-eyed,
did the side-eye.
Over the course of the time of my life where I have encountered people who are legitimately wealthy, a lot of them have been you would not know, like came across pretty cool.
Well,
of
that's
course.
when they have actual money,
When
they don't
yeah.
have to act snooty.
Right.
When either they've earned it, Steve, or they've been comfortable with it.
Right.
They don't need to show off.
They don't need to
and once
show
they don't
off.
need to show off, they can actually just be like normal freaking people who happen to have money.
In fact,
they don't let that set themselves apart from everyone else.
You're exactly right. A family member who worked at an upper crusty sort of maybe probably golf club, and the course is down in Virginia, and said basically that was the way to delineate between new money, and that there was that sort of
Having been invited to some of these because of our job and the people we meet, and to some of these exclusive areas, I have certainly encountered people who make me feel like I am on the bottom of their shoe.
Side eye burns.
Oh, just whatever. It's,
What's your name?
Yeah,
let me understand.
That's amusing.
You acquire money simply by talking, as a child might.
Kathy, somebody texted and said you and I are snooty. So
we slightly turn our head when we see you.
No.
Come on.
Kathy does. She'll just say, "I don't want to talk to you. I'm currently working on my jewelry
Preston,
collection."
ignore that text. They're beneath you.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Nick. For a little clarification.
You disgust me. Why do you even have, what do they call them, computers?
Nick, there was a text in here that talked about, here we go. They're known as Brinathonites.
Oh.
They live in the Brinathan area.
Again, you never want to make
family?
the Pitcairns.
Pitcairn,
Yeah.
So there's that whole thing that's attached. And I'm fascinated by all this. I love that this whole thing exists with this sort of legend and lore of the Pitcairns and the Asplunth and all of this sort of
The DuPonts,
all of this history, because it makes for fascinating history.
Yeah, it's a weird and it's a strange fascination. The royal families are
the Kennedys
fall into that stuff. Yeah, exactly. There's And especially when it comes to, so you have the Esplinth, which is it's a dynasty. I mean, it's like 3 generations of the family keeps this business going.
And they made it. They built it.
They keep rolling back into it and everything. So, so clearly it's almost like secret society type of stuff, you know.
If I had my reverb, I'd be using it right now.
So there's a little bit of fancy. You don't have your reverb?
No, the reverb went down. Rodney came in. Here, look. Nothing. It's just me without my reverb. I'm stripped naked.
You could do your Batman voice instead.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you know the meaning of vast wealth? You will. Listen, your name is Batman, my name is Batman, but I'm looking to purchase it.
Your Instagram?
So maybe there could be one, and maybe it could be the bad person. LOL. Yes.
Yes. Oh, my God. I love this text. It says, well, not all of us can have white headphones like that.
Tell me, where did you get those white headphones?
I would never wear black headphones.
All right. Do you want me to get a couple of these?
I wouldn't go to line 1. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't go to line 1?
No.
Why?
Fine, go to line 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to speak specifics about the Esplinth family?
Yeah, and interactions because
we don't know.
We don't know.
The person may have a grudge.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, Jenna, on line 1, we are not going to your phone call.
Because that's all. Okay, yes, I see your point.
Yeah.
What?
That we don't know this person and they may have a vendetta and grind an axe that we don't want to be a platform for that.
Yeah.
We want to do it, but we won't let other people do it.
Okay, we'll go to Emily then. Hi, Emily. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
So, I used to be a VIP tour guide at a theme park that you all know and have been to and have had VIP tours before. And I was absolutely terrible at being a tour guide for those extremely rich. They do have people who are so good, and my God, the tips, or as they called them, the scarves that they would get were things of legend. People got flown to concerts. One person got a car.
What?
But I just couldn't do it.
So let me ask you. So you're saying you worked at this theme park, and then when VIP guests would come through, they would tip with things as lavish as cars?
Yeah, and not always. I mean, you're also your billionaires and your millionaires who would be like, "Oh, do we need to tip you? Is that something that we should do?" And absolutely tip nothing. But the one time I finally got my chance to work for one of these extremely rich families, it was a 2-day tour. And on the first day, after the first day, I was like, no, I'm done. Because I was pointing out a ride, explaining the ride, and as I have my arm out, they just threw all of their jackets over my arm.
Oh my God!
Walking away.
So let me ask you this, Emily, and I know this. I know this for a fact that a lot of times there are people who are so wealthy that they actually have their people who travel with them who are the tip administrators, or the that really they keep them completely buffered. Did you see any of that?
So not me, because again, I never got to the upper echelon because I'm not great with kissing it.
Right, kissing ass. Yeah.
But for this specific family, and I won't name names or anything, they were definitely actively showing that they were tipping, I think because Dad was trying to impress the au pair.
Oh, okay. The dad was trying to mack it on the au pair.
And how attractive was the au pair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty obvious that Dad was almost nice to us every time that we were near each other with the au pair there. But yeah, it was one of those families where I opted, instead of being with them, I walked 38,000 steps so that I was the person who walked back and forth to the main area instead of actually talking to these people.
Okay.
And when they told me, they gave me $200, and then afterwards they said, tomorrow will be so much better for you. And I immediately went, okay, no, and called out.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate it. Here's a text says, I work for a billionaire family. The owners are pretty bad and snobby. The kids are the worst. The daughter once tried to fire me because her Range Rover had an issue and the dealer needed to keep it overnight. Nothing to do with me at all.
Why did you make things happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a stereotype, and you don't want to stereotype anyone. It's not fair. But I mean, that's the classic spoiled rich kids.
Well, yeah, that just like that comment. That's all they know. That's how they grew up, as opposed to like what Nick was saying before, people that have earned their money, wherever the money
Like the
originally
Clampets.
came from.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Just like Shania Twain said, that don't impressa me much, right? Is that what she say? Impressa me much? I don't care. Like, honestly, I watched Fallout, Steve, right?
Stop bragging.
Yeah, no. And so to me, like that's all anybody is. You know, like when if the world were to be like wiped out, and like that's
We're
all you are.
living in a vault.
Yeah, you're just.
Are you turning into a nihilist?
I don't know what that is.
Someone who believes in nothing?
Right.
No, but I'm trying to not be impressed by people.
You're a Twainist.
Listen, I don't care that you have billions of dollars in the bank. I don't care that you have a medical degree or a law degree.
It don't impress you much.
Or that you can catch a fastball, or hit a I don't care. It doesn't make you any better than me.
Have you put a splint on a sparrow's leg?
Yeah.
That's right. You want something with compassion.
Yeah.
A real human instead of all that stuff means nothing.
Don't impress me much.
Don't impress me much.
Twainist.
I'm going to go a Twainist.
I like that.
do like that
like
a lot. And, when you feel like a woman.
Yeah, then you're a Twainist
then
as
you
well.
are a Twainist as well. So I think we've started a whole new movement here this morning. Yeah. Let's go, girls. Come on.
Let's go, girls.
All right, I'm going to go to Christian. Hi, Christian. Good morning.
Hey, Case, I have a sister.
Oh, Christian sister. All right, sister
Christian.
Yeah.
Come on.
You got to get your music. Hold on a second.
Oh, wrong button. God,
No.
where did sister
And are you also
Christian
an
go?
NBA player?
Yeah,
Do you play for the Bulls?
Sister Christian. We're bringing all the religions together. Really, this is the new coexist bumper sticker.
The Christians and the Twain.
Yes, yeah.
The Twainisms. or
Twainists.
Twainers.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, Christian. What do you want to say, man?
Look, let me preface this by saying I don't have money. I don't really believe what I'm about to say, but I can understand it a little bit.
All right.
Haven't they earned the right a little bit to be snooty by being billionaires? Like,
No.
To be snooty?
Nobody has the right.
So I would say this. I think no one earns the right to diminish or diminute anyone else. And I think, listen, there are. I would say this. Sometimes there are certain issues that come with vast wealth that we don't see. That might be something that we don't quite understand. But I don't think there's ever just cause for treating people like crap.
No. Now, if you want to say by the letter of the law, sure, you can be a jerk if you
There's
want
nothing
to.
against
You
you,
do
yeah.
have that
Yeah.
right if you want to throw the word right out there. But
there are plenty of poor people and who are scumbags to other people.
totally.
This is important and parcel.
Absolutely.
But Christian, it just fits a classic image of the spoiled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that.
well, oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. Then F them.
We turned him around.
Thank you, Christian.
That's what a Twainist will do. Twainists naturally have the right of the ability to convince.
That don't impress Christian much.
No.
That don't impress me much.
I don't think anybody has the right to be snooty, but you have the right to be snooty in response to somebody being snooty. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, snooty as an action? No. Snooty as a reaction? Sure.
Okay. Not much of a leg to stand on if they can buy your family 10 times over, though. You know what I mean? Unless, of course.
That don't impress me much.
If you read the 7 core tenets of Twainism, you would know as it contained in the Twain book.
The tenets of Twainism.
The book of Twain.
Yeah. Your $1 billion doesn't stop my right hand
don't
from knocking
impress you
you
much.
out. You know what I'm saying? That's
I almost like Shania's better.
It's too close to the S word.
I know, you're right. That's true.
Shites.
The shites.
Well, I mean, like the Mormons are from the Latter-day Saints, right? So there could be a more than one name for
They
people
follow
who
the
believe
music
in
of the-
Twainisms.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, with
and
the
they
Church
follow
of-
the music of the Four Seasons.
Yeah, there might be like fundamentalists that we're not aware
Right,
of.
yeah,
that
the
are Twain-
FL
Yeah.
STs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Impressa.
DVDA.
Don't impress
Wait a minute. Where did that come from?
DVDA.
Delaware Valley Dance Academy?
Yeah, any chance to
that's
float that out there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Look that up if you want to find out about the Delaware Valley Dance Academy.
Let me get, DVD.
Just enter those
type in
letters into a
DVDA.
Google search and see what you get.
We're going to go to Mike. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. How are
Good
you?
morning to see you, buddy. What's up?
Well, we're talking the early 80s, I was a nurse down on a chemo floor in a different city other than Philadelphia.
All right.
And we had some really rich people coming in, and my job was to educate and get them ready for treatments and things like that. So I told them all about all the side effects that they were going to might be experiencing, because I don't like my patients to get caught off guard with anything that they weren't expecting.
Sure.
Well, they were told by the doctor, no, you won't have any side effects whatsoever. And when I was going through this, they stopped me, and they were yelling at me and screaming at me, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, keep in mind, this is back in the days where the cell phone was just coming out, and they still had those box phones, and people were very protective of them. Well, they threw me out of their room because they said I didn't know what I was talking about and that I should be fired and everything else. Well, the next week I come in and I found out that these were going to be my patients again. I was just sitting there going, oh, geez, I don't want to deal with this stuff. So I walked into the room, and they're looking at me, and they're like, you're the only one that ever told us that this is going to happen. You were right. And they're handing me their cell phone and telling me to talk to people, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, what did you think? Oops, sorry.
No, sorry.
What did you think I was going to do? Was to lie to you, tell you how horrible it was going to be, just so that I could make myself look better?
I'll tell you this, Mike, at least at one level, you got an admission that you were correct. I mean, you know, that alone is something. A lot of times that wouldn't even happen at all.
Well, I guess, but it still wasn't very much of a confirmation that, that they gave me any...
What would have been that confirmation? $1 million?
That would have been better. A car would have been nice, anything.
I think, honestly, we talk, again, you don't want to have any sweeping generalities about people. That's just as wrong. However, it would be safe to say that in many cases, these very, very wealthy people are bubbled, and maybe in a way that starts to rob them of their ability to know how to communicate with the general public. Does that make sense?
The ones that act like that, yes.
Yeah.
Totally. And like you said, making sweeping generalities is not what we're doing here.
No.
It's snooty people.
Yeah.
And we're not saying all rich people are snooty people. We're saying that some are, and those people suck.
What's worse, someone who is vastly wealthy and snooty, or someone who has that wherewithal, but acts as if they are?
Well, so the people that cater to rich people that are snooty, and we've talked
the
about
hangers on.
No. I mean, like somebody who works in high end retail, right? If I walk in and you want to, you make me feel less than.
Where's
like,
your
I don't
train collection?
Like I don't belong in here.
You mean what is this color called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that
Maroon
one.
glacé.
Maroon glacé.
I'm like, you're a cashier, right? Like you're not the person, who. And even if you pulled up here in a Range Rover or Ferrari or whatever, like don't talk to me like that.
I remember. I bet you every one of us has that moment where you were made to you were belittled in a situation like this. I can tell you exactly a situation with me. My friend Scott and I walking into we're going suit shopping. We had an event coming up, and walked into a place, and the guy literally said, "Are you sure you're in the right store?"
Oh my God!
He said that?
Are you sure you're in the right?
I would have kicked his teeth in.
I don't know how to feel about my English professor in college who, listen, I ain't good at the English language, but I had used a word like Nick. You might be able to help me out here because you're.
I know words.
You know words, and how to properly use them. But I had used a slang phrase like "you disrespected me," right? And my professor totally undressed me in front of the audience, not the audience, the class.
For your grammar?
That's odd.
For my grammar, for using the word disrespected as a freaking verb instead of whatever it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But don't impress you much.
Don't impress me much.
That don't impress me much.
But I still think about that. He talked to me like that in 1995. It was a fleeting moment of 10 seconds where he kind of laughed at me for the way that I used the word disrespected. And then he just kind of
me back then, but I want you to know I speak gooder now.
Well, when it comes to the English language, my bottom line is, did I understand what you were saying? Then I don't care.
But the point is clear, though. It lives with you.
Yeah,
it has some space in your brain, and that's people don't think about that and how when you diminish someone like that. And listen, you develop blisters, you develop a protective skin. But here I am remembering something that happened decades ago, and it hurt.
When Michelle and I were shopping for a house, we went into the home, and a model home, and there was a realtor in there, and she was just not wanting to deal with us whatsoever. We were the only ones there. There was no one there, and just did not want to answer questions. Felt that we would be wasting their time because clearly we could not afford this.
Come on.
Guess what? We live in that neighborhood.
Now,
We've lived
yeah.
in that neighborhood for 20 years.
I want you to read this book. It's called Tweenanetics.
By the way, Steve, a listener texted in to subscribe to these beliefs that Casey is espousing. Nihilists.
Nihilists.
Don't impress me much.
I like it.
I think that's pretty good.
With Tween.
You all right? Yeah,
the
that's
Tweening.
fine.
Yeah,
Twainism, the Book of Twain.
But it's a play on nihilist.
Yeah, nihilist.
Nihilist.
I like it.
Have you guys heard the proverb? And I actually put this on Twitter yesterday. The axe forgets, the tree remembers. The intent here is that somebody doing the swinging, they're never going to forget the insult, right? I mean, they are going to forget.
They
the
are
insult,
going to forget it.
But the
tree will carry the scar.
The tree remembers. The tree it never forgets. And so, like that,
I was disrespected.
yeah, you're the tree.
Yeah.
And the professor's the axe.
That is a very salient proverb. There's the squirrel that said, "These nuts."
Remember that? I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I'd say this. There are those moments, though, can inspire you to, well, I'll show you. You are living in the neighborhood, Preston, of the, Kathy, did you have any? You actually have some very wealthy friends who appear to be not even remotely like this.
Yeah, so they earned their money. They, the dad worked very hard for his money. So they're a little on the side of
Billy Bob teeth, right?
No, but they're on the side of you. I mean, you would know because they drive nice cars, they dress nice, they have nice things, but they're very personable people. You can sit down and have a conversation with them. They're nice people. But I actually have a friend who was born into billions of dollars, is a billionaire himself, and if you guys met him, you probably
wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know.
See?
And he was a kid of money, generations ago, or where the money comes from. But
this is your
wouldn't know.
friend?
This is my friend. Yeah, you
Do you
wouldn't
think he would buy me a swim spa?
I can ask him.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, he'll fart a swim spa. Just please.
That would hurt.
Because you're born into wealth doesn't necessarily mean that you are destined to be that snooty
I mean,
person.
just look at the family from Succession. Those guys were all great, and they were all born into that money. And
oh my God, you want to watch a show? Oh my God,
if
with
you're
people that are just loathe.
But look at how that concept of the wealthy that live and are callous to the general population. Dallas, Flamingo Road, Succession. How many countless movies and series have been based on the wealthy family, the generational wealth?
There's a scene in Succession where the guy, one of the main characters, breaks up with his girlfriend because she said the word "like" too many times. Or no, she said the word "awesome" too many times in front of his dad. And it's over.
You're done.
It's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's probably got a little root in reality somewhere for some people.
We talk about the Royals and the weight of what you think you have all this. And you do have a lot, but there's also a tremendous amount of demand that comes with a lot of that stuff. You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, interesting. This is an international story about the Asplund family.
It is.
And this little Instagram account that went viral. So very interesting stuff, and it's right in our backyard here. We're gonna take a break, and all this money talk. We got to give some away.
Let somebody have the chance to be snooty.
We got $1,000. Please win this money and be super snooty to us, if you would. We'll come back in a little bit. We'll get to Good Money It, and the Bizarre File is on the way too, so hang out with us. Why don't you?
Your bells. But if you ever do get the chance to fly in an aircraft like this, it will open your eyes and make you ask yourself, dear Lord, why don't I have a jet of my own?
Oh, my God. It's the audacity, the absolute robbing of human beings, preying on their faith.
There I was in Zone 3 waiting to load onto the aircraft.
Zone 3.
And I said, dear Jesus, I am surrounded by a sea of human filth that is keeping me from spreading the Lord's word. What can you do for me? Can you hook me up in A $56 million plane will get it done nicely. And I can fly in one stop. And it's also economical. Is it very economical? Yes, Lord, it's very economical. You know, they got down there down in the Cabo San Lucas, they got these young ladies that need to hear the word of the Lord.
I need to.
Oh my God!
I need to see this guy in
down there, Casey. Let me tell you something. The girls have literally gone wild, and they need the word of the Lord Jesus Christ to tell them that if the tops are coming off, if the tops and pantaloons are coming off, make sure that at some point the Bible opens up.
This is Cabo. Girls Gone Wild
Girls
in Cabo.
Gone Wild in Cabo.
Yeah. You've seen video.
I have seen video, and I'm distressed. I could get there in one flight. I mean, you just want to punch this guy in the face.
Absolutely.
Oh, you might.
I don't know. I kind of want to join him on his jet.
I wouldn't mind riding
This is
along.
my new friend, Kathy Romano, and I believe that the word the Lord would use is bodacious.
Yeah.
We're praying together.
Yeah.
I put dildos in my mouth.
And that's how.
That is not very
That's
good.
akin to saying open sesame. When this fine young, and she's a broadcaster, I want you to know, so she spreads the word herself. But when she said she put dildos in her mouth, I got to tell you, that jet door opened right up.
I put dildos in my mouth.
So I thought this one would be a nice, light conversation. Anne Frank.
Yes.
No, but actually, this is actually a little bit of light information about Anne Frank that was recently discovered.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Researchers using digital technology deciphered the writing on 2 pages of Anne Frank's diary that she had pasted over with brown masking paper, and they discovered 4 dirty jokes and a candid explanation of sex, contraception, and prostitution.
Wasn't it Bert Kreischer who got Anne Frank confused with Helen Keller?
Yes.
That's
And actually,
right.
there's an on-running joke about that on a website I go to a lot, which is fark.com. And it's not only Anne Frank and Helen Keller, but they've also thrown in, oh my God, the pilot.
You're talking about
Amelia Earhart as well.
Sully Erna.
So they always, is Sully Erna.
No, Sully.
I thought you said Sully Erna. I'm like, no, I don't think he's a pilot.
I don't know why I immediately thought, when you said pilot, we're clearly talking about women.
I mean, he did land that. It's a good movie.
I don't know why Sully has not brought up the fact that he hid in a
in
Amsterdam during World War II, because that's an even more courageous
And
story.
what blows me away is the dude was blind and deaf and able to land that plane.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, he landed it in a river.
Well, I
but,
guess
you know.
he doesn't want to puff himself up too much.
All right. So anyhow, let me find something else. I can't wear the earbuds. I have small ear holes.
You can't wear the earbuds?
Yeah, they fall out.
Ooh, your ear holes are so tight.
Tight ear holes.
Oh, man.
That's awful.
Can you fit that in there?
I'm going to work with it. Wait. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, ow. No, you're too big. Stop.
You're stretching
Stop.
it out. Your pie is too big.
You're going to tear a hole.
Oh, my God, I'm going to bleed.
Ear lube. I need some ear lube.
Well, what you
I
can
just
get.
gave you an ear pie.
I actually bought these things that were like $2
Oh my
on
God,
Amazon.
I just got that. I'm sorry.
Wait, just got what?
Ear pie.
You ever heard the term cream pie before?
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I bought these things for like $2 off of Amazon that go around your earbuds, so you can
A C-ring.
Basically, yeah, no, and then so you can wrap regular earbuds.
Yes.
You know,
over the ear.
over your ear. And
Yeah,
you're fine.
they're good. You know, honestly,
Listen, I want to be able to wear earbuds.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Well,
You know,
maybe you should
Preston-
let
so Preston-
Steve stretch him out for you.
yeah, I'll stretch them out because I can really, unpack it.
If you're just tuning in here at One Bala Plaza, the studios of WMMR, as well as our sister stations, they're doing some remodeling, and they're going to move some of the stations. We're kind of consolidating our areas, moving from downstairs to upstairs. So they're doing complete remodeling, which means demo has been going on, demolition of the various offices. And when we got wind that they were going to be destroying Bill Weston's office, we said,
We had to.
You got to let us take a swing or two.
Well, my helmet's on the ground, but that's okay.
Wendy?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
This is great.
Here's Johnny!
That is awesome.
Oh my God, look at this.
Oh my God.
Bill's mailbox.
There we go. Give it to him
Look at
as a
that.
keepsake.
I have the video.
By the way, did we ask Bill if he wanted that?
No.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Bill, do you want this?
Clear the wall.
Oh, nice. She almost
fell on her ass.
backwards. There's another swing at it. She's trying to go out of Bill's office into the sales department. Feels good, doesn't it?
So good.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Kill it, Marissa. Kill it. A lot of rage here, man.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's
She
like,
packs a punch.
It's like watching an angry dwarf.
Had a request from a friend of ours, RC, from Tattoos by RC. His son, Dalton, celebrates his birthday today. And RC wanted me to mention it. We haven't seen Dalton in a while.
I know.
He's been around. He used to come around when he was a kid, and we haven't seen him, but he's
a man now.
Full-grown adult, man.
He was a little kid when he came in to visit the show, and I'm wondering, how long has time
21?
passed?
I'm guessing he's 21.
All right.
But
Yeah.
that's just a guess. I'll have to check my Instagram message that I got from RC and get back to it. But this
It'll be my regular Saturday night thing, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, he can't be that old yet.
He's
All right,
he's
I'll
at
look it
least
up.
20, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, keep playing that clip over and over until I
Until
get
we
this,
find it.
Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Are you looking or are you
I'm
just
looking
laughing?
it up. I have to go into my phone. Oh, my God. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
It says here he turns 20 years old.
There we go.
Booyah!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It'll be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So far, this is my favorite part of the
There
day.
we go. It all goes downhill from here.
All right, let's see if we can get an answer to the stupid question.
yeah.
A panda, what is their primary food source? Yeah, okay.
Oh.
I'm going to go to Courtney. Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
Hi, Courtney. What is the panda's primary food source?
Is it bamboo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hang on. Hang on, Courtney. We're gonna. Caitlyn Jenner
Yes.
has 6 kids, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she's.
You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing. Oh, yeah.
I might not make it through the show today.
Caitlin, huh? Thought you'd be bigger. I'm your new cooler.
But she.
Roadhouse with Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh my
There you go.
God.
Pain don't hurt.
No.
Except when they cut your balls off. That was pretty uncomfortable. I'll have to say that did sting.
That pain hurt?
Yeah, that pain sort of hurt. The knife attack at the bar, no, not so much. Cutting my balls off, yeah, that actually pinged a bit.
Can you stick to the script there?
It pinged a bit.
That pain hurt.
Okay, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the royal wedding was over the weekend. I'm going to touch a little bit on this stuff, and we'll expand a little bit further on it later on. But, of course, it took place on Saturday, and they are officially husband and wife, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They became the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at London's Windsor Castle. The ceremony took place at the Gothic St. George's Chapel at noon, but was no ordinary wedding, even by royal standards.
So there's an Instagram thing that I follow. It's called Fish Dance Party, and what they do is they'll dub Fish concert music over people dancing.
How did I miss this?
No, listen. At one point over the weekend, there was a Fish Dance Party Instagram posting of people coming out, and it looked like they were coming out of the royal wedding. And I was like, this can't be. But I think it was legit. I'm fairly certain what I saw.
That Fish music was playing when they were coming out? Okay.
No, but like ridiculous.
A selection from Fish.
I just need to know if I did indeed see Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles come out dancing out of the chapel or whatever.
No, I don't think they were dancing when they walked out.
That is not.
Dude, wait till Prince Charles and Camilla. They're
Casey.
great.
Casey.
I know.
Casey.
What is it?
We're watching this right now. There's no way in hell the royal family would do something like this.
But look at this. They're great lookalikes right there.
They are not even remotely looking. That guy looks nothing like Prince Charles.
I was looking at her.
Oh.
You thought this was real?
I couldn't tell. It was on my tiny little... What is this from, though?
It's a spoof.
It's a
It's a spoof. Oh my God. People. Yeah, we're watching this right now. It is absolutely absurd that Casey would think that this was legit at the actual royal wedding.
I'm telling you, when Prince Charles and Camilla, the Camilla look-alike, I was like, well, that kind of looks like her.
But Prince Charles,
you know what, Casey? It was.
I knew it.
It was real. Let him have this.
Thank you, guys.
They really are big fish fans.
We are so happy he is back in town. It's been a while since he's been here in this studio, and we know him as Gay Robot. We love him for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Swardson.
Yeah, everybody
is with us. Good morning, sir.
I'm glad you got my name right and didn't call me Blink 182. you nailed it.
It's that kind of day, Nick.
It is.
Flooding in the streets and in Preston's.
Dear Lord.
When did your friendship with Adam Sandler begin?
We met on J-Date.
It was J-Date.
Yeah.
So a mistake ended in a lifelong
friendship.
friendship.
A lovely turn of events.
That's perfect.
Actually, this goes with answering this question. A lot of people don't even know I do stand up. So this generation now, it's funny because
that's why I wanted to.
They'll come to my show and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're really good at stand up."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I've been doing it like 22 years, which is insane. And a lot of people just know me from movies. So it's kind of a bonus when they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Michael Jordan when they're like, go to see him play baseball. And they're like, oh, you play basketball? Oh my gosh.
This is a whole other
crazy.
Wait, you're the Michael Jordan of comedy?
No.
Right.
Michael Jordan of baseball.
Yeah.
Yes. Was
exactly.
Was Chuck and Larry the first movie you did with Adam, or did you do anything before that?
Adam saw my stand-up on Comedy Central.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was in bed with his wife, and he was channel surfing, and he was like, oh, it's this kid. And I was a kid at the time, and he wrote my name down and went to the office, and he was like, who is this dude? Huh. And a lot of the younger guys were like, oh, that's this kid, Nick Swardson. That was my first special. And I used to do jokes about my grandmother.
Oh, I loved them.
And so he had a script called Grandma's Boy, and he called my manager, and I had a meeting with him, which was surreal, obviously. And the whole time I just wanted to be like, yeah, you. So I didn't do that, and that's why I'm still working with him. But
there's a scene in that movie. Michelle Carmen, who's one of our calendars, is the girl who is across the street.
Moon balloons.
Oh yeah.
She's from Philly. And she's in one of our calendars. Yes.
I remember Sandler called me up and he goes, "Hey man, I'm doing this movie Chuck and Larry with Kevin James," and I was
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
Keyword's cash.
Yeah.
CASH. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. WMMR.com, the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules at WMMR.com, and it is sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Let me give you that word again. It is cash. CASH. Enter that now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Coors Light. You can join the Preston and Steve Show for the official opening of the Jersey Shore live from Keenan's in North Wildwood, Friday, May 24th, starting at 6 a.m. from our friends at Coors Light. Choose chill at the Jersey Shore. As Southern California warms up this month, everybody's looking to soak up the sun while staying cool. Even the bears are doing it. A family of bears in Monrovia, about 30 minutes from Los Angeles, took a stroll through a backyard Monday afternoon, exploring the surroundings, investigating a pool as well. And video captured by the home's occupant, Rick Martinez, showed a bear and her cubs roaming the property.
I didn't even know there was a Moravia.
Scratching a tree, and at one point the adult bear hopped into the pool and went for a swim.
Holy no
while two tiny cubs watched on curiously. Martinez said they're just doing their own thing. He and his partner Brian frequently see bears on the property, which is at the edge of the national forest. They first spotted them shortly after they moved into the home in November 2022, and they've come back regularly. They explore the property, sometimes going into the pool or playing with floats. In fact, Martinez says that they have had to replace about 5 pool floats.
No doubt.
Since they moved in. And on Monday, Martinez spotted the bear family in the backyard.
Can we get some tunes?
He said, I happened to be home by chance, and while I was eating my lunch, I heard a noise, and one of the cubs had tried to walk through a closed glass door.
Oh, wow.
Poor thing. It was the first time Martinez had seen cubs that young. He said
that's going to end up on AFE.
The other cubs who have visited the property are normally twice that size. He said they're welcome here, and they can come take a dip whenever they want to. So he's happy to have them around.
Look at my nipples.
This is a song where Phoebe Cates is coming out of the pool, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're enjoying themselves in California. Footage captured the terrifying moment an angry hippo chased down and attacked a boat packed with tourists before sinking its gigantic teeth into the vessel.
That must have been effing terrifying.
Yeah. The beast charged the tour boat while it was cruising down the Chobe River in Namibia. While moving in the river, the boat came across a pod of hippos bathing in the water. As it slowly approached them from what witnesses claim was a safe distance, a giant male hippo suddenly charged at the vessel. The boat's captain ramped up his efforts to move the boat and escaped the attack, but failed to do so when the propeller got stuck in the shallow water.
Man.
Yeah,
that just happened.
Footage showed the male hippo opening its huge mouth before sinking its teeth down on the boat and obliterating the outboard motor.
Dude.
Yeah.
So they were motionless.
It also chomped off chunks of plastic on the boat's body. Jackie Boshoff, one of the tourists, said that it was a routine job for the skipper to approach such a pod of hippos, adding that he did it how he always does and has been doing it for over 13 years in the channel. The boat's captain, who was highly alert through the ordeal, apparently shut down the engine to reduce noise while approaching the pack of hippos. But the tourist said there was one aggressive male hippo that chased them and attacked. But because he was watching the hippo and not the front of the boat, she said we went into shallow water and the propeller got stuck in the mud. Only later, when we reviewed the footage, could we see what appeared to be a small calf following the male hippo as it charged us.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, there was another story. This is a different one that had happened. Apparently, a safari guide who was savagely attacked by a hippo revealed how he survived being swallowed by one.
Again?
Paul Templar. Maybe this is the one. This happened in 1996.
No.
Leading a small safari tour of 6 people in Zimbabwe when the encounter unfolded. He was near Victoria Falls. He jumped to attention when the animal knocked one of his pals out of his canoe. He said, as I paddled towards him, the hippo was coming towards me under the water. And the ripples on top looked like a submarine torpedo cutting through the water. So I turned towards him, my friend, and tried to grab him. And it was like something out of a movie because our fingers almost touched and then everything went dark. It happened so quickly, I had no idea what the hell was going on. At this point, he realized that he was stuck inside the beast's throat.
Oh.
He described the hippo's putrid breath smelling like rotting eggs.
Oh, my God.
And his throat and mouth were warm and slimy.
Oh, gross.
So you got to wonder this, obviously. So he's in the mouth, he's inside the hippo. To the thing that we've always asked about. If you're inside and you have a knife on you or something, and obviously we're grasping at straws here, could you attack from within?
So, quick thinking, Paul knew that he had to agitate the animal so that it would let him go and spit him out. He said it was so far down his throat, and I'm not a small guy. Paul was eventually rescued by one of his friends, taken to shore, and eventually received treatment in the hospital. His friend, who was knocked from his canoe, ended up drowning. So it was a horrible experience all the way around. But yeah, he lived. That's insane. An Ecuadorian beauty queen caught in a shocking video getting gunned down in a restaurant was likely tracked down by a food picture she shared of her ordering a distinctive plate of octopus ceviche. Former Miss Ecuador contestant Landy Paraga was caught in surveillance footage getting shot to death by 2 masked men who walked up to her at a restaurant on Sunday.
This is something I've said all the time, is to don't post pictures in the moment.
Yeah, so just before her death, she shared a photo to her 173,000 followers on Instagram, likely tipping off her killers to her whereabouts. Her food showed the distinctive-looking seafood dish and a side of eggs with a restaurant logo on either placement of the menu on the table.
Was there like a vendetta against her or something?
Yeah. After the pic, she was seen chatting with a man inside the restaurant. She noted 2 masked men enter the building. One of the gunmen runs towards her and fires and shot and killed her. Shot the other guy too.
Why? It's a
police are
mistake.
investigating this. Speculation that the hit was ordered by the widow of drug trafficker Leandro Norero, with whom she was believed to have having an affair. So the widow of the guy may have put a hit out on her.
How can you be so dumb to post in real time where you are?
Yep, and that's what she did. And she was just posting. Well, yeah, she
was waiting on potato skins.
No, I think she didn't realize that the maybe the restaurant logo was in
so
the picture.
prominent.
So
Yeah.
but they were watching her like a hawk and they killed her. Wow. All right, one last story. Kathy, I really want to get your reaction from this. Fans of Japanese cuisine might be familiar with onigiri, otherwise known as Japanese rice balls. In Japan, more discerning palates are willing to pay up to 10 times more than the average price of around $1 for the privilege of eating armpit onigiri.
No, get the hell out of here.
And that is
armpit.
that is where a cute girl takes the rice ball and rubs it over her armpit.
That is freaking disgusting.
And this supposedly infuses the rice ball with the girl's pheromone-containing sweat, making it a delicacy for some.
Should we try it?
So they will pay 10 times as much. Yeah, we can try
disgusting.
We've tried a number of Japanese. We had the living spread with the nude. They would have nude
sushi on a new model.
Yeah,
Yep,
we
new
tried
model.
that.
Yep.
What were some of the other things? We did the splashing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what was splashing?
We sitting on a cake.
Someone, we had Melissa Kai sit on a cake for us.
On the cake.
Yeah.
We didn't eat that,
No.
though. That was just more of a
It's all the things we did.
visual thing.
Was that a Japanese thing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Either.
You know, for some reason I assumed it was, but probably it could be something else. Maybe it's a Twainist thing.
All right. Well, anyhow, it might be, yes. So we have about 5 minutes left for you to enter the word cash. And it's a chance for you to win $1,000 from Good Money It. So enter the word cash right now, and you just might walk away a grand richer. WMMR.com, the MMR app, or you can text that word to our special text number, which is 45911. Again, it's cash. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
He goes, yeah, it's a part for you. And I go, okay, great. And he goes, yeah, you're playing Jessica Biel's brother. I'm like, that's amazing. And he goes, yeah, you're a gay brother. And I was like, I've been doing a lot of gay stuff. I was on Reno 911 at the time. So I was like 4 or 5 years deep in Reno 911. And he was like, no, dude, it's not like your character Terry on Reno 911. It's different. It's not that gay. And I show up to wardrobe. I show up to wardrobe, and they put me in like a butterfly outfit with like tiny shorts. And I was like, yeah, this is way different. Way different.
And then you end up playing in another movie I think is underrated, is Blades of Glory.
Oh yeah.
And you play the stalker.
Yeah.
Who comes up with the conceit that gets
I saved the movie.
Saved the movie, yeah. But that was another gay character.
It was gay-ish. It wasn't like bursting into flames. It was just like half my leg was on fire.
I wanted to ask about your fascination with bats, because we had seen an interview that you love bats. You want to have pet bats or something like that.
What interview is that?
I don't know. It says here he loves bats. Wanted to buy a bat farm in a recent interview.
Did you
That's
want to buy?
insanity.
That's not
That
you.
is completely false. Bats are horrifying. I want nothing to do with bats.
So who
You never said that in an
who
interview?
grabbed the
I
piece of
probably
information?
did. I do a lot of mushrooms.
Who grabbed the piece of information about the bat farm?
I don't know what could possibly have happened there.
In your data sheet.
Bats are literally horrifying. I remember when I was growing up, I lived in an apartment with my mom, and there was a bat in the house, and me and my mom were freaking out, and they make a weird high-pitched sound. They're horrifying.
Unlike anything you've ever heard, and they're making their location sound, their echolocation. You know it the second you hear it. Oh,
Yeah, you know the second you hear it. And me and my mom freaked out, and we hid in her bedroom. We didn't know what to do, because it's like, it's like, do we call the police? Like, I don't know what to do. And the bat they can fit under, like you said, this tiny sliver underneath the door.
That's all they need.
It was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it came in, and it made this weird sound, and I just end up killing my mom and eating her. And
Okay,
I just didn't want her to live through that.
So it's the absolute antithesis.
The love of
a bat
bats is incorrect then.
All right. How?
Yeah, I don't know who said that.
It was when you were in Austin for your third time. And it says, why do you keep coming back? And you said, I love Austin. I actually looked into buying a place there. Just like the vibe. It's creative. Everyone is super cool. I love the music. And you have bats. I want to move there and buy a bat farm.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I lied to that city. That was an open lie.
Christy, did you come up with that information? That's our intern, Christy, by the way. She tried to go see your show last night, but got stuck in traffic and couldn't make it. She went all the way out there to Bethlehem.
I'm sorry.
And couldn't make it. And you got a show in Albany tonight?
I have Albany tonight and then Brigada tomorrow.
Wow, dude.
DC. Yeah, I'm on, I think it's like at 35 or 40 cities right now.
I mean, so now besides the flight, and you got that stuff all handled. Are you a good traveler generally?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm pretty easygoing. I mean, I have like a tour bus, so I don't have to fly a lot.
You have a tour bus, okay.
Yeah, and people think it's like wild, but it's really not. Like we go to like Whole Foods, and then like I'm trying not to like drink on this tour. I drank on the last tour, and it was just the wheels came off horrendously. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Do you self-impose? Because my wife will sometimes do that. Just like, and not she's not an alcoholic or anything. She just I just want to take a month or two and just take a break.
I'll go hard for like 5 years, and then I'll take like a month off. Yeah, and it really helps. Sure, it really helps.
5 years, 1 month. 5 years, 1 month.
It's all about the balance. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Great to see you, man. Thanks for
cheers, guys.
That is Nick Swardson.
Give him some love. But you did get your first job from an internship, right?
I did.
KSAN?
At KSAN in San Francisco, yeah.
As a jock?
Well, even when I was a jock, I was only part-time.
Okay. Didn't they change format?
Yeah, and then in my last year, it switched to country and western, which was just ghastly.
And what was your name again for that?
Will Robertson. I couldn't give. I was so.
You just couldn't.
My first name is William, but none of the kids in my family ever went by their first name. My middle name is Pierre, and we've always gone by our middle names in my family for whatever bizarre reason. And so I said, I can't. This is such a vile thing they've done. I can't give them my name, but I got to keep my paltry weekend air shift. So, but the records were much shorter. It was hard to go to the bathroom.
Yes,
they're 3-minute records.
Country songs are short.
And divorces and cheating and trains and drinking and prison.
Trains.
Cheating on trains.
Yeah. I mean, some themes that go through. Now I actually got to like a lot of the music too, but it was here comes another 5 songs in country stereo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
country stereo.
That was the tagline?
Country stereo.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then they had this horrible jingles. The spirit of the West is alive and well, and living in Contra Costa County, and living in Marin County, and living in Sonoma County.
Name all the counties.
They name all the counties.
Oh my God!
You all got us a story there, Presbo.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
And now decades, one station.
Yeah. I've only been at 2 stations.
That's wild.
So Will Robertson and Kenny. What was his name?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Kenny Knight.
Kenny Knight.
Yeah, but when I worked at a country station I did weekends. It was down the hall, and they needed a part-timer, and I did whatever I could to be in the radio business. I was Kenny Big Rig Rider.
Kenny Big Rig Rider.
Big Rig Rider.
Yeah.
We got to get us a morning show with Will Robertson and Kenny Big Rig Rider.
That's a good team up.
Hell
right there.
yeah.
I like
And
it.
then I went by Don Imus.
Fridays like this, so I begin the weekend long time.
He knows that kills me when he does that.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
Is he still even on?
He retired.
Okay.
He retired. He's a legend, bona fide legend, but towards the end there, it was
crazy.
Total unintelligible.
It's Amish in the morning. I got a movie work coming a little later on. We're in this whole hard.
Who's wore those cowboy hats too when I see him on TV? I mean,
with the headphones, cowboy hat.
He did?
Yeah, on the side.
No, they hung underneath.
Were they underneath?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good look.
Action News says when they arrived, they saw 2 officers from the 24th District attempting to arrest an unruly teenager. While that was happening, another person showed up and tried to antagonize the person being arrested. That person was told several times by police to back up, but instead he pulled out a cell phone and got in between the officers to yell at the guy being arrested. After a supervisor arrived on the scene and tried to get the person to step away, the man tried to provoke officers into a fight.
That's what you were talking about.
I was
Casey,
just telling you guys.
on,
This guy is such an a-hole. He's yelling at the cops. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
But he's getting as close to them as possible.
The cops aren't touching him at all.
Yeah.
And he is the one that's walking towards them.
He's the aggressor.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
And
he got arrested,
and he's in the middle of the street, and the cops are saying, you got to get out of the street. He's like, no, I don't. Like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're in the middle of the street, you effing a-hole.
Well, technically, that's jaywalking, so you can be cited right there for that.
Well, he got arrested for being an idiot anyway.
He did, yeah. So then he used profanity to tell a supervisor showed up on the scene as well. They called for backup, and he told the supervisor that he was really ugly.
Yeah.
You're really ugly.
You're just ugly.
If you don't watch out, I'm going to grab your wrist.
So he says, who you wife? Damn. You guys are so mean. Whatever.
He's going to squeeze it really hard, though.
I'm moving on.
Okay, move on.
Who you wife? I need to focus on this because
she's a newswoman.
I don't know if this is English.
And we're distracting her.
Sorry.
All right.
Who you wife? Damn, I forgot he ain't got one. Damn, he said.
That was well performed.
Okay,
Who
thank
you
you.
wife?
Who you wife?
Damn.
Damn. Don't forget the damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Who you wife?
So
Damn.
Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott.
Excuse me, who you wife?
Damn.
Damn. You ain't got no wife? Damn.
That's a different way.
John Houseman performed.
Yes.
You wife. Damn. You ain't got no wife. Damn.
Well done. You know what? It's like I was there.
Exactly.
It's like I was there on the scene. The Harry Potter film franchise is indelibly linked to Alan Rickman.
Yes.
And his portrayal of Professor Severus Snape. But Rickman wasn't as enamored with the role as fans were and still are, a new trove of letters reveals.
I think it sucks a bag of beans. Mr. Potter, this role sucks a big bag of Harry D.
If he didn't like it or had issues with it, it certainly didn't show up on screen. He was excellent, and to his emotional, spoiler alert, ending in the series.
Yeah.
He was a critical part of it.
Yep.
Many of you are surely wondering why I have summoned you at this hour.
His deliveries.
So good.
It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade. Mm-hmm. Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter,
I just love the way he drags out those words, man.
they will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore, any person found to have knowledge of these events who fails to come forward will be treated as equally guilty.
It's so good. Fantastic. Wow. It's so sad that he's
You will
gone.
be called to my office, where I shall spank you with your pantaloons down around your ankle. I shall do so liberally and with great care. There will be a modicum of probing. Digits.
33 WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. So next event, the Big Climb Philly for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is on Saturday this weekend.
Yeah, I sat down with our buddy Marcus last week. Marcus does a fantastic public affairs show every week. It's actually won awards. That's how good it is. And so Marcus interviewed me, and he posted it up on WMMR.com, PrestonandSteve.com. And we talk about Big Climb Philly and Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. This is Team Luke that I'm doing it for. Luke is in remission. He's doing really well. He's cancer-free. but we're still doing it in his honor. So we're looking for teammates on Saturday morning. And Preston, I was checking the weather. It actually looks like it's going to be okay on Saturday morning.
All right.
So hopefully that holds, and we'd love to have you down there. If you can't come, that's okay. You can still make a donation. All of the proceeds go to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It's a great organization. I've done a lot of work with them over the last 7 or 8 years. But if you want to listen to the interview and check out what Marcus does, which is so great, go to WMMR.com, go to PrestonandSteve.com. You can listen to it there, and then you can also click and get some information about Big Climb Philly, which is this Saturday at Lincoln Financial Field.
Nice.
Thank
All
you.
right. And I saw Bob Havens is going to be there.
Yeah,
Hey, Bob Havens.
Every year,
Supports
man.
everything, man.
Nice.
He's
Love that guy.
fantastic. So, man, there was just like, I'm looking at stuff to bring up on the show, and there's so much. There's like too much, and I wish we had more time to pass things along, Steve. And I know that your reverb doesn't work, so you might have to use, I don't know, the Batman voice or whatever.
I'll do
but
what I can.
I think we're going to do totally Presbo. So, yeah.
Hi, Presbo.
Totally Presbo.
That's better. I actually like that better.
All right, all
right, so man, this is directly out of an episode of Black Mirror. It is amazing what that program has gotten correct and where things are going with technology.
That's why it makes it, so if you're unfamiliar with the series, check it out so you can know what to be terrified of.
Oh my God, yes. So creative-minded AI entrepreneurs in China have found a new way to make serious money through deepfake technology. Currently, at least 6 companies in China are offering to make deepfake AI avatars of the dead loved ones of customers that those customers can then interact with post-mortem.
Straight out of Black Mirror. So we had little dabblings. We had when Kanye created a Robert Kardashian hologram with the AI and voice responses. This is more than that.
Yeah, so that episode of Black Mirror was with Haley Atwell.
Yes.
And her husband had died.
Yeah.
Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah, and he had been very active on social media, so there was a lot in the algorithms of what type of person he was and how he would respond to things and what his personality was like. And eventually, so it started off as she could text this AI version of him and have conversations, and it started getting very personal and very, real. And then eventually they had enough to synthesize his voice, which we're seeing with AI right now.
Oh, look, I did it with you.
To where she could do phone call conversations with him. And then what it eventually led to, if you haven't seen the episode, is they create a sort of android type of thing, a physical manifestation with the voice, with the personality. Dude, we're going there.
So let me tell
We're going there.
Look at the movie AI. Right. So the little boy, she loses her son. And then all of these questions, like Philip K. Dick posited in do androids dream of electric sheep, which became Blade Runner. Where does the line, the delineation exist between that free-thinking, autonomous robot that has all the characteristics, and you look at like the movie Avatar. Okay, so you take Avatar. And it's I think one of the inherent plot problems with Avatar. If you can create these, you're talking about these things that allow you to kind of just keep regenerating yourself. Why isn't that the industry over this unobtainium?
When you see this stuff, does it ever make you wonder if we are actually just AI?
Well,
just
if
biological AI.
If there's ever been a case for people to really start thinking about stuff like that and what's real and what's not, but all of these things, and Preston, you're so right, they are becoming more concrete every day. My little dabblings with the voice replication and the AI stuff has been a real eye opener. You guys were freaking out.
Yeah, it's very bizarre and disturbing. Casey Jace asked me that exact same question.
Smart kid.
I looked in my rearview mirror. We were on the way home from school, and I was like, that's too much for me.
It's too deep for you.
I don't know. You're going to have that conversation.
Don't you want to be a YouTube star?
Yeah.
Like all we are is just AI, right? And biologically, he replicated,
he goes, what if none of this is real?
Well,
I was like, I don't know.
Stop it. That is an incredibly enlightened. So stop and think about it. This takes it out to all the levels. When we know that the universe goes on, and this is how little questions like this goes on and on forever. There was a Twilight Zone episode years ago, the original Rod Serling Twilight Zone, where it was Dennis Weaver was a man on death row, and he was trying to convince everybody that they were all part of his mind.
Okay.
And he keeps getting executed over and over again. And every time he gets close to convincing him that this is what's going on, it's part of the deal. So, yes, all those questions are raised. But right now, on a practical level, and I heard an offshoot of this, Preston, what's really happening now is we had the real dolls before.
Sex dolls, yeah.
They are now selling, and they're not even the dolls right now, but it may port a la Black Mirror into that. They're AI girlfriends. So video girlfriends that you interact with that are created per your specifications.
Right.
And so if you're talking about the world of incels, this is going to carry it, to next level.
Yeah. I think I had said something to you like over 20 years ago, Steve. I said the future is sex robots.
You bet your ass.
It's totally going to be sex robots, and I should have invested because by the time I'm an old man, it'll be a reality. And there are versions of that type of thing, but they're getting closer and closer. But while not perfect, the avatars for this stuff or your departed loved ones are improving, but they still come off as occasionally robotic and stiff. Still, it gives customers like Sun Kai the chance to have a video call with his mother every week, even though she passed away 5 years ago.
Do you remember the episode of The Next Generation Family where Wesley Crusher goes onto the holodeck and there's a recorded message from his father who had passed away? And it's like, even at that time, I thought, what would I do? Mm-hmm. How would I approach the opportunity to kind of go into a room and in like VR scale, 1-to-1, see my mother and interact with her?
Yeah.
I mean, is that should that be?
I don't know.
Well, it really changes so many things.
Yeah.
Death is a part of life, and so as humans, we've accepted that this would change that perception that the death can be avoided, which is honestly like been a lifelong goal for humanity. I wanted to ask you guys before we go that deep, what you thought of
Twainism?
Not Twainism, no, but another country singer, Steve, Randy Travis.
Yes,
he really released that track. He can't speak anymore. He can't sing, but with the aid of artificial intelligence, he released a new song.
So he wrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
He was able to write the lyrics, and he was able to oversee the production of it. He just simply could not deliver his voice as it was because obviously he's been impaired by the stroke. But to me, I'm find that more comfortable than the artist doesn't exist in any way anymore. And like the George Carlin comedy bit, I'm glad I'm dead, which is a completely artificial.
Yeah.
The Randy Travis thing to me just seems like someone who's been impaired being able to use tools to reclaim what they have.
Right.
Yeah, I just think I don't disagree. But there is something to be said for finality and something to be said for the beginning, middle, and end of any existence.
Do you know that conversation comes into place at the end of the Ultron? When Ultron is speaking to the Vision. And and they're bringing up that point, the finality, and this is what makes humans ostensibly so amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Pretty wild concept.
It's effing nuts,
and it's totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
Totally Presbo.
So, in New York City. Apparently, food carts obviously are all over, major cities, but New York has a bunch of them that mainly have LED marquees that scroll a variety of fare that they share. And apparently they're all over the place.
Right.
I haven't been in New York City in a
I
long
have not forever.
But so imagine an LED display above the food cart and scrolling across it is, hamburgers,
Rat on a
cheeseburgers,
stick.
rat on a
Gristle.
stick, all that stuff. Well, an avant-garde designer named Edna St. Louis has found inspiration to transform the signs into a piece of haute couture, and the designer is now selling the $295 halal cart bandeau top.
Oh, so you have a display basically on a tube top, right?
Yeah. And as it displays, all it says is like hot dog, gyro, falafel, and you know what? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw
a still picture of it. I
saw
the
video of it. It's pretty awesome. Kathy, I'd be curious to see what you think about it. It's a wraparound LED display
right here, Kath.
that shows the menu items. Because of this new fashion trend, St. Louis has captured the attention of over 500,000 online fashionistas who have hailed the design as iconic, with the viral success translating into a boost in sales of the unique splash-proof and rechargeable halal cart top.
Would you wear something like that?
No.
No? Even if it's to advertise the Catherine Romano jewelry line?
I mean, well, maybe. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, probably.
I did buy a shirt on the boardwalk years ago that had it was an LED shirt, and it was a VU meter.
I bought the same one.
Oh, you did?
They're awesome.
So if you don't know what a VU meter is, it shows you the frequencies of sound, and as think of an equalizer. Like that, and it would move when people would talk. It actually would detect, and it was cool, and it kind of crapped out eventually.
It's a gimmick, and so you'd have fun with it for a little bit.
So this seems gimmicky, but apparently it's kind of taken off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Thought that
see
was
the applications.
Kind of interesting. But do a little search on that today. Her name is Edna St. Louis, and it's called the Halal Cart Bandeau Top. If you want to see that. All right, here we go.
Hi, Presbo.
Totally Presbo.
So General Motors announced yesterday it is shutting down production of the Chevy Malibu.
The Chevy Malibu.
Just in the Malibu.
The second time in the car's 60-year history as Detroit as the automaker shifts its focus to electric vehicles. GM said it will stop manufacturing the gas-powered Chevy Malibu in November, allowing the company to invest $390 million at its Fairfax assembly plant in Kansas for the Chevrolet Bolt EV. GM plans to pause production of the Cadillac XT4 early next year in Kansas to make room for both the Bolt EV and XT4 on the same assembly line. And this is the second time, like I said, the Malibu has been removed from GM's lineup. In 1983, the company phased out what had been one of the nation's best-selling mid-size sedans since 1964 to make room for the front-wheel drive Celebrity.
Yeah, we had one of those.
You did?
Yeah.
The Malibu was resurrected in 1997 also as a front-wheel drive vehicle.
I remember when we got it, like, I didn't know we were getting a new car, you know?
Right, yeah.
And, Mom pulls in the, I'm like, what? What is it, like a limousine? This is crazy. It's beautiful.
Is that what eventually led to her drift racing?
Yeah. Well, that was, no, it was a Buick Skylark.
Yeah, and then she bought the Hellcat.
Yeah.
I don't mean this in a disparaging way. So, but I want to get your opinion on cars like this, because the Chevy Malibu, I'm sure was a fine car, but it's boring.
Pretty generic.
It's very generic.
That's the word I would use for it.
And
A good fleet car, if you will.
What's that?
A good fleet car.
Sure, yeah. So, like, if you're driving a Camry or an Altima or whatever, do you just not care about car design? Like, is that not? You want to get in the car. All you're concerned about is A to B.
So I'll answer that. That there have been times during the automotive industry's history where that became the thing to get. The cheap, like the K car.
Yeah, a nice reliant automobile.
Now, I can get that car. And so that was the seductive part of that. You weren't going because, man, that's a hot-looking car.
No, they're blue jeans.
Right,
I mean, that's all it is. They're the blue jeans version of vehicles. You know, all right, let me just put something on that I know is comfortable and that will kind of blend in with anything and everything that I wear.
There was a History Channel series I was watching just a couple of weeks ago, and it was the Ford adapting to the desires of drivers over the course of years. And, what they kept coming around to as they went through these different evolutionary things is that people kind of do want to be in something that looks a little cool.
Yeah.
And we'll give up some things to have something that looks a little cool. So, and by cool simply means a little bit of character.
Yeah.
They don't want to drive in a box.
And then, Nick, on the other end of that, then you have like the Tesla truck, you know what I mean? Where
the Cybertruck,
so bizarre.
It's so bizarre looking and it's weird looking, and so some people pine to be in something like that. Where it's like
I want something that'll be recalled.
The Ed Hardy of the
I want a real recalled vehicle,
and it's part of its intent is to look very different and very separate. I mean, and look, I would contend that the car I drive isn't that flashy. I drive a Subaru, and I love my Subaru. There's nothing exemplary about it. There's a lot of...
the design actually got kind of cool after a little bit.
Yeah, but it's fairly bland,
It's meant to be a tool. It's meant to be for
and
all
there's a
that you
lot
can
of
do with
brand
it.
loyalty when it comes to Subaru. It's my second one. I'll probably buy a third one. So I'm not. I promise. I'm like, this is not an indictment of the Chevy Malibu, or if you drive one or a Camry or whatever. That's fine. I'm just curious as to why people. Maybe it is the blue jeans effect, Casey. Maybe it's just like that. They're comfortable in it, and that's all they really need.
And they're probably in the right price range. I don't know as well. So
yeah.
It's funny. Nick pulled up some pictures of Malibus, and he found a picture of it. It's calling it a murdered out 1980 Chevy Malibu.
Murdered out.
So I think this exact car was tailgating me yesterday.
Where were you?
I was near the outlets, the Philadelphia Premium Outlets in Limerick, Pennsylvania, and this guy I'm doing the speed limit, and this guy comes up behind me. I'm like, okay, dude.
Is your car
you
murdered
can sit
out?
back there for a little while. I'm not doing anything. I ain't going anywhere. But the Malibu, it's been a mainstay forever. They said that Chevy has said it sold more than 10 million Malibus throughout its 9 generations. Sales slumped 12.5% in the first 3 months of this year after rising 13% in 2023. So it's been a mainstay. It's been a go ahead, but every now and then they phase them out.
Well, I love in Ford versus Ferrari when he's talking about the Mustang.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, and
Christian Bale's character he just walks up and savages the Mustang, rips it apart. So I was surprised to see that. So 60 years. General Motors has had the Malibu. Dissed in the Malibu. All right, let's move on.
Hi, Presbo. Totally Presbo.
It's not the same, is it?
It's not the same.
I kind of like it, though.
I believe we have audio of this. I asked Marissa to grab this yesterday, Casey. A YouTube video dubbed the most boring video of all time.
Yeah, we got it.
Has racked up more than 3 million views from a legion of fans hailing it as the ultimate sleep aid. And I purposely didn't watch or listen to this because I wanted to hear the audio on the air. Ormond Beach retiree Randy Smith was working for Florida Marketing International when he recorded the 2-hour tutorial about an early version of Microsoft Word in 1989. The softly spoken salesman was alerted to the unexpected afterlife of his video and to the obsolete technology late last year when he received a text from a stranger thanking him for putting her to sleep. But he remains modest about the success of his most popular work and its impact on the sleeping habits of his audience. He said, why somebody who has no interest in Microsoft Word would be watching it, especially such an old version, I have no idea. So the video opens with a pulsing 1980s electro beat and a spinning floppy disk before cutting to Smith seated at his desk. In semi-darkness, the lights come up and reveals a vast cube-shaped monitor perched on the end of the desk while he begins speaking. And so we have a clip of him. Like I said, I haven't heard this yet, but it's considered the most boring video of all time. So here we go.
Welcome to the Mac Academy tutorial system presented by Florida Marketing International Incorporated.
Hello, and welcome to Mac Academy. My name is Randy Smith, and over the next couple of hours, we'll be discussing Microsoft Word. We'll be going over the basics of that program. I'd like to welcome each of you to this tape and also to the Mac Academy organization. I'd like to spend, before we dig right into the program,
I love this. Already I can tell you I love this.
ASMR?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of ASMR trigger from this guy's voice.
I'd like to spend a few minutes and talk about some of the differences between word processing on the Macintosh computer, word processing perhaps that you're used to on IBMs and IBM compatibles, or some of the earlier programs for the Macintosh. You know, today a lot of people talk about word processing.
This goes on for a couple of hours, apparently. And
well, that's where he lost me when he said hours.
Yeah.
Literally, he said over the next couple of hours. I would have been like, oh, no.
So this would be quite common, these kind of tutorial things. Of this time, Preston, I love these kind of things. Like another one that made the rounds was the instructional for people working the meat station at maybe it was Country Buffet, and how you interact,
how you talk to people,
how you talk to clients.
Yes,
and then that would go to the class. You've seen.
Hey, did you see the game last night?
Right, and so
boy, what a showstopper.
Bob Odenkirk did a parody that is spot on.
Really,
wearing the same outfit, and he's got like a wart on his lip, and he goes. So, is your mom into partying?
Oh my God.
And but it's great. But yes, in fact, this is exactly it, Kathy. You've ever seen this guy? They've talked to him since then.
Yeah, we have the video online. It's of this guy standing at a carving station at a buffet, and it's an instructional video on how to speak to the customers, how to interact.
What grade are you in?
You ever seen it?
Yeah.
Kath?
No, I don't think
Oh, it's
so.
hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's so poorly done.
Oh, gross.
It's wonderfully poorly done.
And the one that is one of the classics. Have you ever seen the classic Winnebago Man?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a bunch of outtakes.
Yes.
Yeah. That one's the guy cursing and stuff. But this one is the guy is it's standard what we call an industrial video.
Yes, I did many of those.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do voiceover sessions where I would teach you how to. There was one I taught. The automotive industry, there was a new tablet they were using to calibrate a car when it comes in.
You don't know what the hell it says.
I had no idea what I was talking about.
For a satellite dish, a home satellite dish calibration system, and I didn't know what the hell I was saying.
So yeah, there are a lot of these out there, and if that can set you off to sleep, then
I love it.
You may have found the Holy Grail. Marissa said she likes this. Do you want to comment on that, Marissa? She handed me a note.
Yeah, when it was boring, I thought it was going to be like a guy with no personality. The dude's a little witty. He's got jokes. So I started scrolling through the video to find some other clips, and he's funny.
Okay.
He's just like 90s funny he almost reminds me a few times of like Woody Guthrie doing Alice's Restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Like his pentameter, his pattern was speaking there, and I learned stuff.
There
was like one or two things that I was like, yeah, I need to remember to save every time I have something in Word before I print.
Yeah, okay, so here's one of those witty moments Marissa pulled us
So let's do a quick table right now. Let's say this was a sales report, and this first one is for January, and we go over to our
the keyboard sounds.
Oh, you dig that.
2-inch tab mark, and this is for Susan. Now, the next thing I want to do is put a column of numbers, and I don't know how many of you have tried to make a column of numbers line up in Microsoft Word, but it's almost impossible to make them line up evenly. You'll start getting a wavy line unless you use the decimal tab. So I type in 112. Then we go down to February, and this is still Susan's sales. She sold $89 in February. And now we'll go down to...
is this the funny part, Marissa? Yeah. Is this the humorous?
Touche. Our humor is different.
I'm sorry?
I said touche. Our humor is different.
Oh, okay.
Well, is it at the end of the clip? Did we just not make it to it?
No, that was
it's
it.
a minute and a half long, this clip, and I'm not going to spend a minute and a half.
All right.
Listen, it's material I'm familiar with.
Okay.
I've heard those jokes.
Yeah, please. Come on, get something original.
Come on.
All right, here's
Get some
another
material.
funny clip she said.
Now, the rule of thumb is that you should save every screen load. Every time you have got a new screen load of copy, you should save your document.
He's saying load.
Now, to save your document, you simply come down and select Save. Or if you like to use your keyboard, simply hit Command-S. Now, as I say that, I know you sitting out there watching, you're not going to do that because nobody does. So I'd like to leave one last hint, I guess, when it comes to saving a document, and that is in the 4 years I've used this computer, I have found that 90% of all of the bombs will occur when you go to print your document. And when you think about it, that's the worst possible time it could occur because you're all done.
Hang on.
So please
10
get into the habit of before you hit Command-P to print your document, or before you go up under File and go down and select Print, always save your document.
I hear nothing funny.
I get a little Norm Macdonald from that.
Her sense of humor is different.
A little
than
different.
ours.
Well, we're older.
Oh, dear God. Okay. Anyhow, he's considered this video
The
is
Norm Macdonald of instructional videos.
the most boring video of all time.
I love those things.
I could easily fade off to sleep in comfortably, not because that sounds soothing to me.
I had to do a demo for a product one time, Preston. They had me in a suit, and it was for imposter knockoffs. Remember when they had imposter fragrances?
Yeah.
And so I had to pitch all these things that were ripoffs of other colognes and perfumes. It was so horrible. And they had these, what they considered were sort of on-screen seductive models that made your average lunch lady look like a Victoria's Secret model.
Oh, my
and
God.
it was too hilarious.
Nice. All right, let's go to something else.
Hi, Presbo.
Totally Presbo.
So many stories. I'm not going to have time to fit in all the ones I want to. Did you see the Boy Scouts change their name?
What?
Oh.
Boy Scouts of America?
Yes.
To what?
It's Scouting America. 114-year history. They've changed it. It's a significant shift as the organization emerges from bankruptcy following a flood of sexual abuse claims, and they are focusing on some inclusion. So the organization, steeped in tradition, has made changes after decades of turmoil from finally allowing gay youth to welcoming girls through its ranks with an eye on increasing flagging membership numbers. The organization announced the name change.
I think they should run straight at the controversy and call themselves Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
All right.
Zoot Suit Riot.
Throw back a bottle of beer.
I love that song.
Suit Riot.
So is it just like there should be one scouting organization? There shouldn't be Girl Scouts?
No. So the big difference between, and this is what I've understood of why girls wanted to join Boy Scouts, because Girl Scouts was not adventurous enough for them. They don't do as much of outdoor activities.
Oh, is that the
Camping.
case?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was
without
trying to-
question.
Yeah, I was trying to get to that. Like why distinguish between the two?
I don't know. I mean, the Girl Scouts is going to remain what it is, and they focus on different things, but the scouting is more outdoor. So if people want that, they can go there.
Right.
If they want what Girl Scouts do in their activities, they can go there as well.
Why don't they have exciting scouts and boring scouts?
That'd be good.
Well, I mean, listen, it's funny because I was a Boy Scout for a hot minute, and then I don't know, for
Then you heard Shania Twain.
one reason or other, I stopped going, and little did I know that like becoming an Eagle Scout was a huge thing, and a massive accomplishment. And also a great resume builder. You know, people see Eagle Scout on your resume, they're like, oh, hot damn.
It's true.
Is there a female version of an Eagle Scout?
No. Well, in Boy Scouts, which is now Scouting America, when they first allowed girls, they started accepting girls in 2018 in the flagship Boy Scout program. In 2019, over 6,000 girls have now achieved the Eagle Scout rank.
Okay.
So, and I think that's cool that a girl can be an Eagle Scout because, like you said, it's prestige.
Is there nothing? So there's nothing offered in the
There's a
Girl Scout?
comparable one. Yeah.
And what is it, Nick?
It's called the Girl Scout Gold Award. So if you want to achieve the highest and most prestigious award within the Girl Scouts, you can do that. But
it's telling that none of us have ever heard of that before.
No,
but
never
we
heard of it.
all know Eagle
Scouts. I would say this as well. The Boy Scouts organization, as you pointed out at the beginning of all this, was taking major financial hits.
Yeah.
And so anything they need the dues.
Yeah. There were a couple of other groups like the Scouts. Man,
my friend was in Demolay, in Florida, and from what I understood, Demolay was very much like the Scouts.
Welcome to Demolay.
Yeah, Demolay, Nick. If you're looking up, I think it said DEMOLAY.
Can you be
a boy or a girl in it?
No.
Oh.
Can you be a boy and be a Girl Scout?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So yeah, Nick or Casey, here's Demolay. Sure enough, spelled like you said, DEMOLAY.
That's what I say.
It is an organization for young men ages 12 to 21. And it was founded in Kansas City, Missouri in 1919, named for Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar.
So it's still gender exclusive?
I don't know.
The Girl Scouts are.
Yeah, it says girls. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Demolay says from young men ages 12 to 21.
Yeah.
So Girl Scouts say they have no plans to admit boys into the organization.
You were talking about, so the Brownies are part of the Girl Scout organization.
Yeah,
right?
it would be akin to Cub Scouts.
And so is there a offshoot from the Boy Scouts that is a comparable? Brownies are younger than Girl Scouts, right? Tradition, okay. So what is younger in the Boy Scout realm?
Cub Scouts.
Cub Scouts. So you have like Weeblos and
That's it.
And believe it or not, the Girl Scouts also, there was the Brownies, Daisies. There's the Juniors. There's a whole
Pink Ladies.
Or the Pink Ladies. They teach you how to French smoke cigarettes.
God, I never got
French inhale.
into any of that. My mom would always ask, and I'd be like, no.
So you remember what Weebelo stands for?
Yeah, We Be Loyal Scouts. Yeah. Caroline is still in Girl Scouts.
Is she
Recently
active?
rejoined just like a year or two ago.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And they have a great time,
bro. Where are the cookies?
I
don't. Do they sell at that age?
Caroline don't do no sales. No, actually, we did have them, but I don't push those on you guys.
You can, man.
Oh, it's all right.
There's no pushing when it comes to a box of cookies.
Usually, Pancake and Chuck did his full campaign for a long time, and he really sold it on you guys. So I didn't feel the need to. I don't ask you guys to.
My mom would never do that at work.
To buy stuff or charity stuff. I never ask you guys of that stuff.
Then just bring us boxes of cookies.
Okay, I'll do that.
Whenever I had to sell chances or candy bars or candles, you guys ever had to sell?
Oh my God, I remember the candles that came in like the little book you had to give people.
My mom was like, I'm not taking them to work with me because then I will feel obligated to buy something for my coworker.
Totally.
Right.
So I'm not doing that.
Yep. So it's going to be, they're going to rename it Scouting America. So that is the big change in Boy Scouts. Real quick, couple of calls. I'm going to go to Bill. Hi, Bill. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. You guys rock.
Thank you. What's up, Bill?
Hey, I got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. They all went through scouting. The girls went to Gold Star in Girl Scouts. The boy went to Boy Scout, the Eagle Scout and Boys. And his troop in Delaware was actually the first troop that accepted girls in it. Mm-hmm. And along with the adventure thing you mentioned earlier, one of the big things is that there's a lot of notoriety and acceptance with the Eagle Scout Award in Boy Scouts, and not so much with the Gold Star in Girl Scouts. And a lot of the fathers and mothers that were bringing their girls into this troop wanted their girls to have an Eagle Scout Award because that kind of meant something more on a resume or a college application.
Yeah,
like that.
It's better known. Any idea as to why so are they pretty much linear, comparable, the Gold Star and the Girl Scouts, as far as what they have to do to achieve that status?
No. The Eagle Scout has from the experience with all my kids, it was a much more time
intensive,
much more intense thing. Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Okay.
The Gold Scout, the Gold Star was not quite as, but that's the highest you can get in Girl Scouts. That's as far as you can go with that.
So
comment on that, guys.
The girls that want to go into scouting, Boy Scouts,
and make a real run at it,
they are, I think, have a little more
drive.
I don't know, or they want more adventure.
Would you say chutzpah?
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. I don't know. The Girl Scouts are pretty solid too. So. But nonetheless, just thought that was worth passing along. Listen, I got other things I want to get to, but we don't have the time. No, we got to say bye, Presbo.
I forgot to grab bye, Presbo.
We don't have bye, Presbo?
No, we do. It's just going to take me a second here.
Okay. The reason we got to wrap up is because we have a guest joining us in a little bit.
Totally not Presbo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Little Announcer.
Bye, Presbo.
There we go.
Totally not Presbo.
But we got Miss Pat coming
up,
so I got to make sure we take a break and stay on time. So we will do that, but thank you very much for hanging out for a moment or two. Hey, a reminder, Penridge High School in Percy, you guys are voting for coolest teacher. You have till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Text the word teacher to 39333. We'll be back in a moment.
If that doesn't scare you straight, I don't know what
I might
would.
even break out the wand. At which point you will receive an enema unlike any you have ever received before. In fact, I will pay to have the owl watch the herald.
Oh my God! He's a cuck. The owl's a cuck.
Absolutely.
Hedwig?
Yeah.
That's his name.
And then, when it is all done, I shall pleasure myself into the sorting hat.
Oh my God! Not the sorting hat.
Oh man.
Oh my God!
He's always gone off the deep end.
That's when Rickman became bored with the character.
Right.
He decided needed to add a little flavor to it.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Because of his pentameter, I have had this ongoing debate as to whether or not he says yippee-ki-yay, I'll say truck, mutta truck or mutta trucka.
And that haunts you?
Well, I mean, I've talked about this ever since the movie came out. Does he put an ER at the end of...
I don't think
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yes.
I'm worried about Alan Rickman's delivery of the role Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Trucker. Do you have any sins to tell me about, son?
No, I just thought I'd talk about.
I just wanted to seek your counsel. I don't know.
I don't think there's an ER. I think it's a.
Me neither.
The question you just raised is easily one of the most imbecilic things I've ever heard. I want you to come to my office, where I shall lock the door and spank your buttocks.
A man was spotted riding on the hood of a car barreling down the express lane of I-95 in Florida late Sunday. It appeared to be talking on the phone while he was doing it.
Yes, that's with anchovies and pepperoni, please.
Yeah, he's on the hood of a car going about 70 miles an hour. The driver in the other car that was filming this says the words, "What the actual F?" We're in mid-highway.
He's one hand holding on to the crease of the hood, and the other hand holding the phone to his ear.
A female passenger in the car seemingly could not believe what her eyes were seeing. According to the video, she said, "What is that? Oh, my God." The driver, Daniel Maida, who was filming this, told the Miami News Times that the man on the hood was somehow hanging on to the Mercedes-Benz C300 with one hand and appeared to be talking on the phone with his other hand. A woman behind the wheel.
Now, baby, I know I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. But I think we can work this out. I just want you to listen to me, or at least slow down by 20 miles an hour.
We knew we were going to have one gentleman for sure that was coming in. We have two here this morning. This is a momentous occasion.
Call it an honor.
I'd have to say because he is the best-looking 60-year-old man I've ever seen in my life. It's his birthday today.
Yes.
So we first want to welcome our friend Sean Wayans, who's been here on many occasions. And his brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans, is here celebrating his birthday today.
Hello, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it, man. Welcome to Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, now all the women in my family are going to kill you because you said my age. And they all lie about theirs. So
You were working as a stand-up when you met Robert Townsend, correct?
yeah, well, when I met Robert and Eddie and all of us, we all started out at the same time and in the club in New York at the Improv.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how we, started working together.
And you I believe, if the legend is correct, that you are one of the writers or co-writers on Raw, correct?
Yeah, on Raw. I worked on that with Eddie. I also produced it, and Robert directed it.
I remember that day.
Oh, there was a picture. Put the picture back up. Yeah.
I was back there with you guys, right? And I was slapboxing with Eddie, and I almost hit him, and then security grabbed me and was like, all right. All right, Junior, you about to mess up this money. Go sit your ass down.
Wow.
So that's cool. But all you guys have had such a massive effect on comedy and a type of comedy that I love, we all love. That is, you helped usher it in. Eddie Murphy did as well.
What happened in my career was I started out, sort of by myself.
Yeah.
And then as my family started getting into the business, I kind of realized that it was either going to be all of us or one. So I decided to make it about all of us. So I kind of stepped away from acting and started to
cultivate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and Sean, we were talking earlier about how you were first on the show as the DJ.
Yeah.
And you'd already been doing comedy. You're doing stuff like that. But so from your point, Keenan, as you're seeing family member after family member, I want to do this. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a double-edged sword, or what do you first say to them when they come to you and they say you as sort of the default patriarch? I want to do this.
He nurtured us.
Yeah.
My thing with them was as long as you're willing to work. I always wanted them to know that it wasn't easy, and I would give them small opportunities in the beginning. I never gave anyone a starring role who wasn't ready, and like I said, I made sure that they all put in their work, and it is the fact that they're where they are in their careers now is testament to the
everybody
fact that they came in the right way.
Did anybody ever get mad at you saying, "Hey, I'm ready for my starring role"?
Always. When Damon first started,
I was the DJ, man.
And you were a damn good DJ.
I could play sketches too and scratch.
Hey, the guy right behind you is really talented.
Well, when Damon first started, I told him, I said, "Give yourself 10 years." Yeah. And he looked at me like I was insane, and he was like, "It's gonna take me 10 years." Well, 10 years later, he was, he was ready.
We say the same. I tell like the interns and people who are coming up in the radio business, and now we've been, it's the 20th anniversary of the show, and I say, trust me, if you were to jump 5 years into the future and look back, you wouldn't believe where you were or how things have changed.
Yeah.
So that's very sage advice. But when you're young and hungry, it's hard to perceive that.
It is, and the thing is, youth is something that people think everything is supposed to happen when you're young.
Right.
And they're disappointed if it doesn't, because youth is when, you make the money, you chase the girls, you do. And that's the experience that everybody wants, as opposed to being great at what you do.
Yeah.
And being great at what you do takes a lot more time than that. And sometimes, youth passes you by. And I tell people all the time, if your goal is to be a CEO of a company, it doesn't matter if it happens at 20 or 60.
Right.
You still accomplish your goal.
Yeah. All right. So you have to be a really good talent scout, right? So within Living Color, were you the sole decision maker as far as who was on the cast and who wasn't?
Yeah.
All right, so it was because you did an amazing job with that, and you look at all of the people that came out of there.
Well, they were all people that I knew.
That you knew.
Right? So we were all in the clubs together.
Okay.
So when I got an opportunity, it was like, who's the funniest guys I know? Like, it wasn't really like a hard thing to do, because I knew they were funny.
You were working with people like Jim Carrey and all those guys were paying their dues.
And he knew what to do with them.
Right. But that's a key. That is a gift. There's Lorne Michaels has that that ability, and also who's going to synergize well with each other.
But you also, your show aired at 8:00 on Sunday, and so you had a younger audience in myself.
Right.
And I mean, I loved it. You know what I mean? Like Ace Ventura came out, I was like all over that. And
It got moved to 8. Started at 9.
Did it start at 9?
Yeah.
What did Parker Lewis Can't Lose? Was that your lead?
The Ferris Bueller ripoff?
I love that show too.
Fox wanted to make it an anchor show.
Okay.
So they moved us to 8.
Did they initially, or because would it first really, because it kind of hit the ground running, if my memory was, and did they go, whoa, we need to bump this up?
Yeah, well, initially they were very afraid of the show.
Yeah.
Period. Like they had no idea what was going to happen. But once the show was successful, then it was like every network strategy is going to be how many other shows can we launch?
Right.
So, they ended up moving us.
In this day and age of reboots, we're seeing TV shows rebooted. What's the likelihood? We don't have a good sketch show. SNL's the only thing going right now, as far as I know.
I think there's absolutely a new generation.
Yeah.
So it would just. I don't think that the guys from the past would
step forward.
Yeah, want to do that again. But there's absolutely a new generation out there, and it would be fun.
Yeah.
We're in a time now where I think a show like In Living Color is needed, but at the same time, it's the sensitivity.
Can you do it?
Yeah,
No, that's a good question. We were wondering about that, about the. Preston and I were having a talk earlier about the comedy club or the theater. When you guys are there, that's your realm, and all bets are off. You should be allowed. There's safe spaces for satire and comedy and thought provoking, whatever you want to do. That's your palette, and there's been hits on it lately.
It's the phone.
Yeah.
You see, because
absolutely
the people who are in the club, they paid to be there and they want to see it.
Yeah.
But people who are filming, now it's going to people who didn't want to see it.
You're
and
right.
then when they do see it, now they're pissed. It's never the people who are in
That's
the
why I
club.
didn't want to go. See that?
Well, speaking of that, even some rock bands have adopted no phone.
I don't think phones should
get
be
out of
allowed.
here.
I think you're there for the experience and enjoy the experience. And
well, Kevin Hart played the Link, the stadium here, and there was a no phone rule for that whole show. It can be done. It's a pain in the ass, but I mean, I would agree.
Yes,
with that,
you lift a clip
100%.
out, you lift a soundbite out of context,
Yep.
and people are going to go ape.
It's just crazy.
I heard somebody, and I don't remember who the performer was, saying recently though that they, it's really easy to see from the stage when somebody does get on their phone. Have you guys noticed that? Like if you're up on stage, you can tell immediately.
If the light is on,
You can tell, but you just don't want to stop. You got to understand. You got people in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
You got momentum going,
right?
And you're thinking about your next thing, and you're trying to be physical, and you're trying to be in the moment, and then someone has their phone up. Do you stop your whole show to deal with this guy with his phone up? And then kill the people's
No,
show?
you're right. So you're going to
Or
ruin
do
it for other people.
so,
No.
You know,
It makes total sense.
sometimes you do, and you make him part of the show, and you destroy him for being the idiot.
Yeah, which is
for pulling
also
the phone
good.
out. But
You channel your Richard Pryor.
yeah, if I gotta stop, I'm gonna destroy you.
Keenan, I have to tell you that I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is one of my absolute favorite movies.
Thank you.
Hilarious. I think people need to revisit it, but I think it's also sort of it's the likely first step to getting to Don't Be a Menace, which that same sort of comedy, which has became the style of comedy. When you were putting that together, how difficult was that to pull everybody? You had a lot of cameos and stuff. Give us the idea of what that production was like.
I was very lucky. And Jim Brown really, he and Bernie Casey, once they came on,
got it done.
Then everybody else was like, well, if they'll do it. And
they were essential.
Yeah.
They were what Leslie Nielsen was.
Yes, they were the icons of the era. And so once I was able to bring them on board, it went really smooth. And it really was, it was an homage to them. So
and the blaxploitation movies
because
of the
those
70s.
are the movies I grew up watching, and
so did I. They were
enjoyed
awesome.
them.
Yeah.
So, when I was writing it affectionately. So that's why I think that they responded to it. And then these guys did the same thing for their generation with Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah.
So I was on the set of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, 17-year-old boy watching his big brother do his thing and just taking it all in and going, man, one day I want to do a movie just like this.
Yeah, and you did.
A couple of years later.
Yeah.
Don't Be a Menace was born.
It's Sean and Keenan Ivory Wayans here, and we want to do something special because it's a special day, and we have something to bring out for Keenan. It is his birthday today, so we got a cake for you, Keenan. Yes.
He don't eat cake though.
Happy birthday to you. So you don't eat cake, huh?
No, I don't. But I appreciate the 7 candles. It's my 7th birthday.
There you go. So you can blow out the candles in there. The first ever Bond girl, Eunice Gayson, has died. She was 90 years old. She starred as James Bond's love interest, Sylvia Trench, opposite Sir Sean Connery in Dr. No back in 1962.
The iconic scene of all Bond movies, when James Bond first is introduced, she is across the, I don't know if we have the audio of it, from the clip.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. We'll get the Good Money It keyword in less than an hour from now, so we have another chance for you to win $1,000. Don't miss out because we're starting to run out of time on this. We do these things from time to time, and they're for a limited time, so we don't want you to miss the opportunities for that. We also don't want you to miss out on the latest big friggin' deal, which is the Powhatan Tiki Boat Tour.
I want to do this thing.
Yeah. This week only, you get the first 6 spots for your private tiki cruise from Powhatan Tiki Boat Tours for half off. Half off.
That's insane.
Saving a chunk on this thing. You can float on the Ocean City Bay on a private 26-foot cruise equipped with thatched roofs, club quality speakers, and barstool seating as well. So go to WMMR.com/deals, but you got to get it while supplies last. So if you wanted to do something special this summer down the shore, that's what you want to do it with. Our guest is on the line and ready to go. She is performing at Harrah's Casino on Saturday night. Showtime is at 8 o'clock. And I want to remind you, season 4 of her show, The Miss Pat Show, is going to be it's going to be released on May 23rd on BET+. So let's welcome Miss Pat today. Good morning, Miss Pat. Nope. Hang on a second.
I thought I heard her. I thought I heard a hello.
Have the Zoom and...
Recording in progress.
Now we're coming in. Miss Pat, are you there?
I'm here. How you doing?
Good morning. You're on the air in Philadelphia with us. Nice to see ya.
Good morning, Philly.
Yeah. Hey, have you spent any time in our city, Miss Pat?
I'm always in your city. I was just there, I think, about a year ago. But I don't think I've ever been to O'Hara, so I'm looking forward to going to a casino now. I don't gamble, only when I go through the drive-through.
That's the only time you gamble.
You don't know what you're going to get sometimes.
You sure don't, especially if you go to the wrong restaurant. And I'm Christian at Chick-fil-A treat you right.
That's true. That's true. So we've talked, a number of times before, and the Miss Pat show, which by the way I think is hilarious. It's on BET, and so the thing is that I always hear, and it reminds me of? It reminds me of old style Norman Lear stuff, and it's been favorably compared to that. I think and this is my advice, take my unasked for career advice. They need to spread the word on that a little bit more out and about, because I think that for many people is a kind of sitcom that you don't see that much anymore these days.
Well, you don't, because this is the first sitcom that allowed you to use real language, grown people language too. But we also talk about real issues that are going on in the world. And, TV and network TV have gotten away from, stop trying to make people feel a certain way. And, it's just so easy these days. But when we went over to BET Plus, they allowed us to do whatever the heck we wanted to do. And so we talk about abortion. We talk about divorce. We talk about being on drugs. We talk about death. And, more serious thing, even childhood trauma that I went through. And that's why people love the show. No matter what walk of life you're from, people can relate. And that's why we've been nominated for an Emmy twice.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you this. So every time you're on the show, I dip in and do a little bit more research, and I'm like, oh my God. I finally pulled the trigger and bought on Amazon the Miss Pat book, The Rabbit, the autobiography of Miss Pat. Because, I said the amount of stories that you have, and with the show and with your very candid stand-up, and I don't know if I ever asked this, but have you ever been approached to turn your early life or your life just in general into a movie, into a, real deal? Because you've got everything. You've got the comedy, you've got, Martin Scorsese level, crime and survival, and it's just a fascinating story.
We're working on some stuff now with that book. The book has been tied up with the sitcom over at BET Plus now for 4 years, but we're definitely working on turning it into a movie, maybe even a series, because it's so much, you don't want to put it all there in a movie and you miss so many moving parts.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, but again, you've been so candid throughout your life, and that's what's so great about you, because you have all this stuff that you could just turn into complete, just a perpetual pissed off person, and it's turned you into this very funny, very accommodating person. But I wonder, in all that time when you've been candid and talking about things, is there anything that you ever thought, geez, I don't know if I didn't know if I wanted to put that out there. Is there anything you thought second of and said, maybe I shouldn't have said that?
Yeah, I tell everybody my daughter is 24 and she a virgin. And she get mad, but I tell her it's because I'm trying to get her laid and get her a man.
Well, there you go. That's a perfect example. You're trying to get your daughter laid.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her laid. She a big girl, too. So, it's hard to get off a big old black woman. So I'm trying.
You got to work it. I love that.
By the way, Miss Pat, I know your show's on BET Plus, but if they ever did make your life a movie and they decided to show it on the regular BET, have you ever noticed it when you go and you see a movie that you like is on the guide, and then you go over to BET and then you realize it's going to be 5 hours long?
I hate that.
Because of the commercials.
The commercials.
When I tell you they got so many dang Dawn commercials over there, I'm like, do you know people use a dishwasher now? Nobody wash their clothes themselves anymore. They got some ads for you.
Oh my God.
I wanted to talk to you because I did not know this about you. You are like a total badass when it comes to DIY home renovation stuff. Has that always been something, or did you just take to that recently?
No, I've probably been doing it. My husband used to do build homes, and I got into it. And then I really got into it when I moved to Plainfield, Indiana, because I moved in an all-white neighborhood. And so the money changed. And I noticed that, and I hate to say this, white women who stay at home, they go to the Goodwill and redo items. And so I just joined let's paint a Sally Ann table today. And so I learned so much from living in my white community in Plainfield, Indiana. And I was like, I love this mess.
I got to tell you, Preston's wife hops on YouTube and does all the home repair.
Yeah, when I'll come home, she's, hey, honey, what are you doing? I'm changing out the disposal unit in our kitchen. I'm like,
what? I'm telling you, you don't really have to, if YouTube, nobody should go to college with YouTube because it's all out there. And so my husband would YouTube anything. Now I only YouTube stuff if I'm having a medical issue, why my eyeball so dry. That's the only thing I YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Oh, it's the worst when as you get older, when it's like, well, that didn't happen before. And then you go, let me ask you, are you a hypochondriac when it comes to that stuff? Do you go nuts, or do you just figure I'll fix it myself?
No, I got health care, so I'm going to the doctor. I just want to check. I Googled the other day, and I was like, I'm having aches and body. And they was like, oh, you got MS. And come to find out I did not have MS. It's menopause at its highest. So when you're going through menopause, your bones get real, you just get sore all the time.
Yeah.
So my daughter's like, you don't have MS. Your menopause is done kicked all the way fully in. But back to the DIY show, I want to let y'all know, I just built a house, like 15,000 square feet.
Whoa.
And I'm not lying, y'all. I did it all from TikTok. YouTube. Yes. And I ran my husband crazy. I got all the designs from TikTok. I got the architect from TikTok. I got everything I need. TikTok. You know what? I'm a diehard Democrat, but I'm going to tell Joe Biden right now, if you get rid of TikTok, I'm going to turn into a Republican. I got to pay taxes anyway.
Listen, there's a lot of people that make some serious loot off that. And, we were just talking yesterday about there's a lot of stuff that ends up on TikTok that can be helpful, but Preston is running down a list of things that are not accurate at all that people try.
Yeah, especially cleaning tips and, mixing bleach and ammonia together is a great cleaner. Yeah, it also creates mustard gas in your house.
But I'm going to tell you, I grew up on bleach and ammonia. That's the only way we clean. I was just telling somebody the other day, when I grew up, everybody we took baths back in those days. You had to put a top of bleach in your bath water. And I tell people that they was like, what the heck are you talking? And we was not trying to turn ourselves white. We was literally sterilizing ourselves.
It wasn't part of a plan to turn yourself white. And you have how much land is this house sitting on?
It's sitting on 7 acres.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. So is it? Are you leaving it all sort of like natural? Are there any like water features or anything?
Well, I put a pool in the back. I think it's 12 or 13 bedrooms or 10 baths like that. But it's nice. It's got 4 kitchens, and the rest of it is just land, the deers and stuff. And my land go into this big old lake in the community.
Wow. Well, you deserve it. I mean, reading about you, and you've taken in a lot of family members. How many people are living with you now?
I have my niece 4 kids because she smoked crack, and then I have 2 of my kids still at home. So I've ran through quite a few crack babies I've raised.
Wow.
It's funny because, in your own life and knowing about you, we've talked about, you growing up and being shot a couple times and, hit by a truck and all of that
drug
stuff. Drug problems and all that stuff.
All that.
And you could break one or two ways with that. And you've become like more maternal and more, do you feel it's like a conscious effort to sort of correct what happened to you?
Yeah, and let me just make one thing clear, because everybody always think I use drugs. I've never used drugs. I don't even drink.
Okay.
So my sister's a crackhead. I don't do crack because when crack first came out, everybody stopped putting activator in their Jerry curl, and I knew something was wrong with the black community right there.
That was your tip off. Oh, that's hilarious.
I've never used drugs. I don't use no drugs. My drugs is Chick-fil-A. That's the only thing I use. Peanut oil.
So what's your go-to at Chick-fil-A? What's your number one menu item?
The menu.
The menu.
The entire menu.
Yo, don't sleep on the frozen strawberry or frozen lemonade drinks that they have.
Are they good?
Yes.
Chick-fil-A drinks are good?
Yes. And the only reason I ended up trying, I had a coupon for one. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. It was amazing. I mean, but I'm not surprised. Like everything, like you said, Miss Pat, everything on the menu.
And my Chick-fil-A have fried okra.
Fried okra.
Wow.
Yes.
I love fried okra. And you're in Indiana?
No, I moved from Indiana. It was too cold, honey. I told my husband, he retired. I said, I don't want to die up here. It's too cold. So we back in Atlanta.
Okay. That's why you can get fried okra. Absolutely. Yeah, that's down south for sure. I love that.
So you are always traveling. You're working, like a crazy amount. As you travel around, though, and we do a thing every week, the connoisseur, we talk about a lot of fast food stuff, and because it's a common thing. People freak out. They want to recommend stuff. Are there particular cities you look forward to going to for that one particular menu item that you got to have?
Oh, my God. Boston. It's a place up there. What's the name of that Neptune? It's a Boston. It's this restaurant I go to every time, and they sell these lobster roll.
Lobster roll.
It's called Neptune. Oh, and it's like $35 for the lobster roll, but I don't even care. Let me tell you something. When I go, I take. The man don't even really do takeout. I be like, can I please take 2 of these back to the hotel? Because as soon as I go to the bathroom, I'm gonna eat these 2 too. I look forward to going to Boston.
Miss Pat, I got to tell you, there's a lobster roll stand in Boston. I mean, you would walk past this thing going, oh, I'm not going there. But I'm telling you, it's the best lobster roll. It basically looks like a hot dog stand, and it's right there on the Inner Harbor. I wish I knew the name of it. But if you don't mind, a greasy looking place, sometimes I trust those more than the other places.
It's probably less than $35 a lobster roll?
Definitely. It's probably $10.
I'm going to have to look that place up because that one's about $35 a buck. And people be lined up, time the doors open. It is so good.
Wow.
I'm gonna find the name of this place for you, and we're gonna hook you up.
Miss Pat, I was seeing on your podcast, one of your most recent episodes, you were covering about suffering from allergies. Are you somebody who has a real problem with that?
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. I'm 52 years old, and this pollen in Atlanta is killing me. And the thing about it is I dang near have to put on a pamper because when it come out one end, it leaks out the other. And I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. I'm too old for this.
You're right. It's hilarious. And listen, love Atlanta, love that whole area. But I mean, when it can be as oppressive as hell. The fact that they would shoot The Walking Dead in that area with all that stuff on, and the actors would go down and not have a clue as to what it's like. You don't impress me as someone who suffers the heat and humidity all that well. How do you put up with that?
I put baby powder up under my chest, and I put on a panty liner so I can make it in Georgia.
Those are the 2 keys.
You just got to know where to put the baby powder and the Vaseline in so they can slide across your chest.
There's a lot of tricks, man.
The keys to success. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Lord. You got to stay dry when you're a plus-size woman down here in the South because, baby, water will run out of all kind of areas. You know the problem I have is my navel keep flooding.
It keeps flooding.
Your navel keeps flooding. And do you carry around a cotton swab for something like that, or?
No, I just I pack it.
You pack it. It's like there's Oh no, I completely get that concept. People don't. Yeah. They used to call it, what was it? Packing a flounder was on the other side,
That's
right?
in your butt.
Yeah,
that's when you put some toilet paper in your
Yeah.
butt and leave it in there.
Yeah. And these are sage pieces of advice that I don't think a lot of like teens would know about. Like, how do you tend to a flooded navel? Yeah, but this is not the wisdom that we're passing on, and here you are to do it. I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, when you're a big girl and your navel get too much water in it, you just pack it with cotton, so you don't drown.
Who were your influences, Miss Pat? Comedically, when you first had your first interest in doing stand-up and doing comedy.
I was always Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, and Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. Who'd you say was the most prominent in directing your style?
Richard Pryor, because I'm a storyteller and I tell us a lot of crazy story like Richard do.
Yep.
So I looked at a lot of Richard. But I got to be honest with you, Bill Cosby was such a great. So the way he put his stories together was just totally different from Richard. So I just really studied both of them.
Yeah, regardless of all that stuff, I remember clearly Cosby would have prime time on like NBC, a stand-up special, and everyone would talk about it because, that was what he did, and not a lot of other comedians were doing that.
He was a master of using pauses and moments of silence to accentuate his comedy when he was doing his stand-up.
Right.
Richard was just kind of like in your face, and he told great stories, but you're right, they both had these distinctive styles and both nailed it, you know?
And they do. So I watched both of them a lot to learn, how to tell a story.
Any of your kids thinking about following in your footsteps?
They all work on the set with me. I'm here now taping the second season of Miss Pat Settles It. But no, my kid, I only have one child that's really funny, and she don't want to be a comedian.
Oh. Well, there you go. So Miss Pat Settles It. You just kind of do a judge thing. And
I'm a judge.
Yeah. You enjoy that? Is that something you take naturally to? I think you probably would be.
I'm having fun. I like it. You get I get to say stuff other judges don't get to say.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, usually the people that come to my courtroom wouldn't really go to court. So I'm enjoying myself. I can say, sit your ass down. Judge Judy can't say that.
Right. She can.
All right. Well, Miss Pat, we appreciate the time, and we hope you have a great time in Atlantic City this weekend at Harrah's Casino, Saturday night, 8 p.m. You can get tickets at MsPatComedy.com. So take care and have a great time when you're in town this weekend.
And don't forget, y'all, May 23rd, the 4th season of the Miss Pat Show will be on BET Plus.
Very funny.
And
Very funny.
Give it up for Miss Pat.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's great. Yeah, and Steve, her story is wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Shot twice.
Yeah.
I mean, abused.
She had her first kid when she was 14.
Yeah.
And then another one when 15. She was sexually abused.
Yep.
And all this wild, she had all these mountains to get over.
She had her
get
nipple shot off.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I had mentioned her drug problem. She was busted for selling drugs.
Yeah.
But she eventually was just brought up in a really bad environment and turned it around and got it working for her. And now she's taking care of people who are having problems.
She's taking in family members who are, in a bad way. I mean, she's taking in all these people that live with her now. So, good on her.
She's talking about crackhead family members like it was,
She's like, I got crackheads.
She's great.
Well, listen, we got a couple more minutes before we need to take a break. So I thought we could chat about something else. Yes, Casey?
I wasn't sure if you wanted to take
Oh, I didn't even see this. Yeah, this phone call, absolutely. Xfinity Mobile guest line. Caller's name is Tracy. Hi there, Tracy.
Hello.
How you doing, Trace?
I'm doing great.
I'll bet you are. Speak your truth. Tell your story.
I just won $1,000.
She won $1,000, courtesy of our Good Money It contest. And which way did you enter, Tracy?
Text.
You did text.
There you go.
Very good.
Yep.
And you came in under the wire because we're wrapping this up in the not too distant future. Where are you from, Tracy?
Deptford, New Jersey.
From Deptford, New Jersey. You've been a long-time listener of MMR and the Preston and Steve Show?
Yes, since the Y100 days.
Oh, you go way back.
Thanks for going back. We appreciate it. And we are happy to give you $1,000. Anything that you need that for in particular that you have in mind?
No, I'm probably going to use it for some fun activities this summer.
There you go. Some summer activities.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, Tracy, we're going to give you $1,000. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. And we are very, very happy for you. All right?
Thank you. All
right, there's Tracy. Another $1,000 winner. We got another shot at it coming up in right at about 30 minutes. So we'll have your opportunity to be just like Tracy and walk away $1,000 richer. Thank you to our sponsor, McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, by the way. So I saw this interesting article on BuzzFeed. They had asked women about the things that they've seen in a guy's room when they've gone back to his place, like for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
So never been there and experiencing that. I don't know if that means, after... If this was going to be a one-nighter or you just met or you've been on a few dates and now you finally go over to their house.
Would you like to see my record collection?
Whatever it is, something like that.
I don't think so.
Some of them got the ick immediately. But others were surprisingly wholesome and had total green flags. And there's a handful of responses I thought I would share with you.
Quick question: when you started dating, your first place by yourself, would you have been leery as a woman walking into it? Because I know my wife was when she came over to my house.
My first real apartment that I paid for. No, I didn't have anything to hide. I didn't have anything that would have been considered embarrassing.
Right.
It just wasn't a nice apartment, you know?
Neither was mine. But I actually, as a horror aficionado, I had a half torso with the leather face mask on it.
Yeah.
And Claire, I remember her saying she thought, I'm going to die.
Did you tell her before you went in?
Yes. I gave her, I'm into horror movies and movie collectibles, but still... it was a basement apartment, so it muffles the screams. And so she came over. Regardless, she still married me.
My first apartment had the ugliest carpet you've ever seen in your life. It was Steve, the original shag.
Oh,
when that
Jesus.
stuff first came out,
What
it
color?
was yellow.
Oh, my
mustard.
God.
Yeah.
Yellow. It was horrible.
A disease cloth.
But it was cheap, and so that's why I got it. And it was big. It's actually a 2-bedroom apartment, but it was so cheap I could afford it. I found out, I'll show you guys later, that I was just down the street from the state prison.
Yeah.
And that's where the prisoners would go when they got out of jail.
Yay.
Some of my
they probably
neighbors
hid some stuff there that they're going to return for.
Yeah, so no, it was just an ugly place. So I'll give you a couple of examples of what women have said that they've seen, and feel free to call in if you had the first time you went to a guy's place and you saw it and you either like, nope, I'm out of here, or it was the right thing to see.
Right. What do you want to see?
Here's one that says, he had a hunting knife above his bed. I made some dumb decisions, but I've never noped out of there more quickly. So she didn't like that.
The hunting knife,
ready
yes.
to go. Here's another one. Swords. 2 of my exes had real swords on display in their room.
Is that something you would have had?
Not back then.
Not back then.
No, that was after I got married,
After
and we had kids and everything.
Then
so.
you can get your swords.
And-
Guys, if you're young, if you're just entering the dating realm, hold off on the swords until after marriage.
You'll be able to get them later on. So knives, swords, not a good idea.
Didn't Jason Kelsey get his wife a sword for their anniversary or something like that? It just entered into the news cycle. I think he got her for their 6th wedding anniversary.
A sword?
He got her a sword.
Okay.
Pretty cool gift, huh?
Was there any backup or any?
Was it the iron
reason why?
anniversary? I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here's a green flag. This one says.
Sorry, I got a cramp in my hamstring for no reason, guys. Holy moly.
I wonder what was going on. He just leapt out of the
shot
chair.
across the room, and I'm like,
But if you ever get one of those, I feel for you, man.
Okay, it's good.
been doing legs?
Well, yesterday was leg day.
There you go.
But I skipped it.
I thought there. See?
Yeah.
I thought there was a revelation about Kelsey's sword for a
I
second.
did too.
Yeah.
I thought maybe
it wasn't a sword. It was a spatula.
I thought you were trying to go find a sword.
No. I did ride my bike the other day. It was my first ride of the year.
Did you have any cramps while riding the bike?
No.
Oh my God, I got scared for a second.
I'm good.
We'll be back with the business report.
I tried to do it quietly, and then it just got worse.
I am sorry to laugh at your pain.
No, it was good.
But that was out of nowhere.
It does hurt, though, like a son of a bitch.
So that was a hamstring?
It was a hammy.
I pulled my hamstring while I was asleep.
Dude.
And
Not drinking enough water.
And in the dream, I dreamt I pulled my hamstring.
All right.
You're not drinking.
Mrs.
You're
Romano.
not drinking
Thanks,
enough water.
Jerry.
She just texted me.
I drink a lot.
Did she really?
Jerry said that?
Casey's not drinking enough water.
You need to hydrate, bud.
Slam some water.
Just
Put raw tomato on your anus.
Steve, Case, how you feeling over there?
We're good now. Let's move on.
We're all fine here now.
Okay, back to what women have seen in guys' rooms when they come over. This one said green flag. He had a picture of his dog on his nightstand.
That's not.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Green flag.
Green flags are good.
So they're indicating both
Yeah,
good
that was
and
my
bad.
last sexual encounter.
Oh.
It's my guy. That's my ex. What? Oh, yeah.
This one says, everything seemed normal enough, but as soon as I saw a sticker on the side of his computer tower of a cartoon girl in a skimpy swimsuit with giant boobs, I lost the interest. He said, just no.
So, I don't know. Yeah, but listen, when you don't know the person and you talk about a woman being in a potentially vulnerable situation back at his place, you don't know. Kathy.
Yeah.
When you were, if you would go over to a guy's apartment, was there any sort of thing that you would do as a sort of protocol to look for, things to check off on a list?
Not
or
me.
just turn it over to your gut?
No, none of this really happened to me. I always had a boyfriend, but the story I do want to tell you is a friend of mine used to, when they would get up to go to the bathroom or whatever, take a shower, whatever, she would go into their closet and she would look. It's not what you think. She would look at the tags on their clothes to see what brand clothes they were wearing.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
Like, is it a judging thing? Like to see how much money they had?
No, not money. Just to see if they were a good
fashion?
dresser. She would look at their style and see, because she liked fashion very much.
Well, we don't have to guess who this was.
No, it wasn't. It was not Elisa.
Okay.
I will put that out there. It was not her. No, it was another friend of mine who doesn't work in fashion, but just was very into fashion. And she would check out their clothes. And we used to ask her too. Like, we'd be like, did he have anything new in his closet? She'd be like, yeah, he bought this really nice jacket.
Oh my God.
See, we don't know this stuff.
I've never heard of that before.
When she first told us, like, she was hesitant, and then we were like, no, you have what? She's like, all right, I'm looking to see how he dresses.
Have you ever heard of anybody else doing that
No,
before?
just her.
I would love to know if anybody listening has ever done that type of thing. 215-263 WMMR.
I can't even imagine what kind of game I would attempt. You sit there for a second, baby. Oh, that's a new Batman figure. I just wow. I'll get us some martinis, and that's a new Batman. He's on a motorcycle.
Trying to think if I've done any snooping in a new relationship to dig, just to get below the surface a little more.
What's in
and
her
see if
husband's closet?
I'm missing out on anything or not.
Have you ever done medicine cabinet in the bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
I never really did, no.
Okay.
But Casey, yes.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I think
Someone
that
you
was
were
the standard.
dating, or just like
just in general.
now when you
Yeah.
stop at my house?
Well, no, I probably haven't been in somebody else's medicine cabinet in
7 or 8 weeks.
No, like probably like 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Those are the biggest tampons I've ever seen.
I got you.
Coincides with something.
So I lived with my parents more than once, and I'm curious as to how much of a red flag that is for a potential date. You know, like when you're living at home, as an adult, right? And then when I got divorced, I moved back in with my parents, which is a real high mark in my life.
It might be less now, Nick, because so many, because of the financial situation.
Yeah.
So many
but like
college graduates are living at home.
You only have so much privacy, of course,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to tiptoe around a little bit. So I'm just curious as to whether or not it's a red flag.
Well, listen, I am married and I have kids, and my mom lives with me, and I make sure that when I say it, I don't say I live with my mom.
Yeah.
I say my mom
lives with us.
Lives with us.
Right.
And
Right.
there's a
My mom
bigger-
lives with us in her house.
Well, Rochelle and I have had discussions that if one of our kids wants to stay with us, they can stay with us. They're
What are you
fine
gonna
with that.
do?
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn them out into the snow.
But there was a day when it was like, all right, time for you to get out.
Fly, bird.
Yeah, fly.
Fly.
And we're going to throw you out the nest.
Ow! Wing just cramped up. I can't.
Is that a red flag, do you think?
Screaming?
For nowadays?
Yeah.
If
For dating purposes.
Well,
for
all
sure,
right.
not for everybody, but for some people, yeah.
How old? I mean, there's a grace period after college, right?
Adult, like an adult.
25?
I would think probably 30 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 41, definitely.
And I would also think, though, that a divorce scenario would certainly, you could understand that.
Isn't the Italian thing was
Well, I
living
was
with
just,
your parents,
that's
right?
what I was
Living
going
with
to
your
say.
mom.
Just say you're Italian. They'll go, oh.
Oh, okay.
Mamonone or there's a Mamone.
Mamone, that's the name?
No. It's Momomes, the quarterback for the Chiefs.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick Momomes.
Yes.
No, I think Mamone.
It's a Tommy James song.
I might be getting it wrong, but like if you're an Italian son living with your parents, I believe that the mom is referred to as Mamone.
Oh.
Here she comes, Nancy Mamone.
Dan.
Mm-hmm. I live with my mom.
But it is in Italy. It is. I mean,
That's what I
is
mean.
very.
Normal. Yeah.
It is very normal. I mean, they stay until they find
Until
another
they find a woman.
a woman to,
Yeah.
to care for them the way their mother did.
That's what it is. It's Mamone. Mammone.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, here's somebody who looks at somebody's clothing, Kathy.
Oh.
I'm going to go to Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Gabby?
So, I work in fine dining, and so when people come in, especially in the cold season, they have these luxurious, beautiful coats on. They coat check with us. I like to kind of slip in the coat check closet and just see, is it really nice fur? Is it actually high end? Is it from Zinman, or is it Fashion Nova?
So if you're going out, let me understand this. If you're going out with someone and you kind of check in the coat.
No, she works at a
she works
restaurant.
at the
I
restaurant.
see. I'm
It's
sorry.
Not
I
the
missed that part.
exact same story.
Okay.
So, Gabby, what are you gleaming from this? What are you trying to find out? Why?
Well, I think a lot of times, I really appreciate a nice fur coat, and I think that they're gorgeous. So a lot of times I'm just oh, this person, they look high end, they look highbrow. Is it actually an investment coat, or is it just a really good dupe? Is it from,
Will you walk out to the table while they're dining and just say, "You're an imposter"?
Yeah.
That's raccoon.
No, I obviously never reveal myself.
Okay.
No one ever knows.
I was just going through your jacket.
All right. Thank
just
you,
going
Gabby.
through your coat.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know.
By the way,
what
3 chapsticks.
Yeah, come on. Please.
The only time I've ever done any sort of snooping, other than the medicine cabinet thing, is I hitchhiked one time and I was down the shore. I was teenager-ish, and I got in the back seat of this dude's car, and I started checking under the seats for guns. I was like, if I'm going to get killed,
I need a gun.
I need to know ahead of time.
I see you found my second gun.
Yeah, that's for you, by the way.
Yeah, that's the passenger's gun.
Here's one that this gal pointed out after going back to the guy's house. She said, hanging on the wall in his bedroom was a life-size black and white portrait of his gorgeous nude physique.
No.
He worked out daily, ate a special diet, got facials, whitened his teeth, etc. He was extremely proud of his appearance.
Not a dating situation, but we do also know someone who has naked photos of herself hanging in her home in areas where if you have guests over, they're going to see it.
Write it down.
I will.
No, I know who it is.
You know
and I
who
want
it
to
is.
see it. Yeah. She's
You
got
do?
big cans, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she got big breasts.
Write it down.
Here's another one. Says, one of his bedroom walls was completely covered in thousands of random Bible verses. He apparently cut out of different Bibles, and some he'd written on little bits of scrap paper. They were haphazardly glued, taped, or thumbtacked to the wall, and nope, it wasn't artistic.
It's right out of every serial killer man. Oh, okay. I will say this. Show the name.
I'm not holding it up.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so that, you're almost trying to. By the way, have I mentioned I'm a psychotic stalker? Because the Bible passages glued to the walls,
Right.
that's textbook psycho.
Here is one that I liked. It says he had boxed action figures and cheap collectibles everywhere.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous.
He had
what kind of adult man would have that?
Hallway.
By the way, mine aren't that cheap.
From floor to ceiling with mass-made boxed collectibles.
Yes.
I made a dumb excuse and left his place and never went back there.
It's like 40-year-old version.
We gotta start collecting some toys.
Yeah. and he's got the box of videos, boner jams. And Paul Rudd's giving him.
Hey, you don't have anything in the boxes, right? Everything's out of the
Everything's
box?
out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a man does.
Yeah.
You should have seen how expensive his superheroes were.
Hey, it's incredible.
Oh my God, what a
Preston,
turn
you saw my pad. You saw my room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
You looking for backup here?
No.
Help me
Is
out.
that not a panty dropper? That room?
Totally, man. No, it's somebody who appreciates the fine art.
I mean, my God.
Comic books.
You're going to get wet just driving near my house.
All right,
Claire puts up with so much.
The last one on this list is, she said it was a good one. She said he had bookshelves filled with nonfiction books organized by topic with one small section, books I haven't read yet. And then she writes, OMG, my clothes couldn't come off fast enough.
There you go.
Wow.
So he probably doesn't read. He just made that display for that reason.
Yeah.
Totally.
You ever see anybody arrange their books by color?
Oh, yeah.
Drives me crazy. You
Why?
do?
Why would you not arrange it by color?
Alphabetical, Kathy.
Listen, do you have any blue books?
Well, alphabetical
Wait,
by title or by author?
Last name.
Nick, my closet is by color.
So is mine.
I mean, that's different than books, but the clothes in my closet.
Yeah. And your books on your bookshelves?
Well, I have a small amount, but I would not be opposed to organizing books by color. Nick, you would hate this. My girlfriend has the books turned the opposite way, so you can't see
The pages?
The pages, because this is my friend who has an entirely white house. It's because the pages are white.
Oh my
and
God,
the
that's so
books are not.
stupid.
I want to go into her house with crayons and just start drawing on the walls.
Oh no, just write Nick. Just write the title of the book on the page.
Oh, here's another Steinbeck.
Mine are,
purple crayon.
mine are arranged by genre. Each shelf has its own genre, but then on each shelf, it's not in any order.
I will accept this.
Mine are by
you.
weight.
Thank you. By weight.
Yeah, I think it's 7
Bibles
pounds
on the bottom.
7 pounds of novels, please, and 2 pounds of nonfiction. Thin. What is it? Slicely thin.
Slicely thin. Slicely.
Nick,
I don't have a bookshelf.
I was going to say, my books get given away. I keep only the ones that I absolutely love because they collect dust and there's too many of them.
I got you.
They collect
They
dust.
do.
Not if you read them, they don't.
Or dust them.
If I already read it, I'm not going to go back and read it again. Most times I won't go back and read it again.
All right, well, anyhow, thank you.
This Mona Lisa's old.
I want you all to go home, wipe your finger on your book, and tell me if there's dust there. They're guaranteed there is.
Okay.
I'll do that.
That's first thing when I get home.
Take a
And
video
then I'll go to the bathroom.
and tag me in
All right.
your dusty book.
We need to take a break because we've got more money to give away. We just gave away $1,000 to this gal, Tracy, who called in. We'd love to add you to our growing list of winners here on MMR. So we'll break and we'll come back and we will do that. And we will also get you some fresh piping hot bizarre file stories. So stay with us.
And here it is.
I admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
So, Sylvia Trench, you got to love the names that they gave these winners.
Sylvia Trench, huge gaping gash.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're going with Trench and Pussy Galore and things like that.
Pussy, Harriet, Pussy.
Yeah. No, I
Countess Smelly Bunghole. Well, Miss Bunghole. Pussy Galore. And that was, a lot of vagina. Was the,
to play off of that. Halata vagina.
But Sylvia Trench. Yeah, hairy gash.
Hairy gash.
Slimy bush.
Slimy.
Putrid pooter.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it going. I'm having fun.
Melisandre Double Fist.
Yeast infectantine.
Yeah. So
rest in peace.
What a lovely tribute to Eunice.
Chlamydia hysterectomy.
So, Steve, she was in From Russia with Love as well?
Yes. So he actually leaves her to go off on this mission, but the idea was to keep her sort of continuing the way Money Penny. It was sort of a flirtation to keep her in and out of his life, but they passed on that. But that's the first time in the Bond films where James Bond is introduced at the Baccarat table. I believe they're playing Baccarat. And it's great.
Did she know Steaming Butthole?
She knew Steaming Butthole was her sister.
All right. But anyhow, a post on her official Twitter feed read, an amazing lady.
Perhaps you know my sister, Queef Poop Splatter.
And my cousin, Purdy Turd Cutter.
So the Twitter feed read, an amazing lady who left a lasting impression on everyone that she met.
Did you say Queef Poop Splatter?
She will be very much missed. You know what? I got to point this out. Lately, when you've come in here and we're doing this crossover thing, I don't know where you're going.
Excuse me, what?
No, I mean your inflection. It sounds like, is he going to say something else, or is he done now? And I'm having a hard time. I think we're off. I think we're out of sequence. I think we're
We'll have like a
he does have a
bonding
secret.
session.
He's become a soldier of fortune.
Oh
yeah.
Maybe let's do an Outward Bound together or something.
Furthermore, and that.
Hey,
What? I wanted to ask you.
I can't believe it's hard.
I'm not saying you're stopping in the middle of what you're saying.
He's saying you're an unprofessional broadcaster.
You actually finish the words,
that's
and then
certainly true.
Your inflection is as if you're going to continue on, and then you don't.
Yes, of course.
You should have heard us all day. The amount of screw-ups and semi-said words and spotties.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, Preston looks at me and goes, what's going on? I go, I'm just trying to get my head out of my ass.
Yep. So you're done talking now.
What?
Okay. What is on your show today?
There was once a time.
Oh, is that you doing that, Steve?
Yeah,
I'm like, where's that noise coming from?
Beautiful day. Then I found myself camping. That part's wrong because I wouldn't camp.
No. That part's wrong in my own story.
And well,
I'd like to correct my story.
A Motel 6 is camping for me.
You going to U2 tonight?
Yes! Yes! And you have access to right? You can be on premises, yes?
Something to talk about.
Thank God.
Oh my God, yes! It's like a first date.
Oh my God, we found something in common.
I like spaghetti too.
I have a follow-up question. Do you think that the band will do anything for the radio station? I believe they've been made aware that it's the 50th birthday, but I don't know if they're planning on saying anything.
I don't know. There could be something from the stage, possibly.
May I recommend something?
Yes.
Put like a coil of speaker wire over your shoulder, put your hair in a ponytail, hold a Guinness, and pretend you're a roadie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Because, but again,
I
you're
cannot
right.
affect an Irish accent like you can.
Well, just pretend. You could, in fact, make it a horrible one.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, goshly.
Gosh.
Did you just say, oh, Gershly? The hell does that mean? This man's an imposter. Don't just tackle him, shoot him.
Oh, Garshly Bob Bono. I've got.
My name is not Bob Bono.
I've got to tie me shoe.
Bob Bono.
Bob Bono. I remember you back when you were playing the clubs, don't you know?
Don't you know? Potatoes. Potatoes and leprechauns, right?
And
Am I
leprechauns.
right?
Yo.
Mr. Bono just goes, he's one of us. Potatoes and leprechauns, am I right?
Wow.
Shillelaghs, right, guys?
Shillelaghs, potatoes, and leprechauns. Right, everybody?
I love this text from somebody that says, I think you two just canceled. Case, we got to get you on one of those water jet packs.
Oh my God, I would love that.
We've got to get you on that. So I know they do.
Where's
have
the closest one?
They've got them down there somewhere.
AC they do.
We talked about it last year or the year before, and people said that they are available in certain spots. Very, very expensive to rent. But
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's the case or
Maybe
not.
we get a knockoff one.
A knockoff jetpack. But I personally would love to go on one of those things. But I'm dying to see you on one.
You see the dudes who are able to flip down and go underwater and dive it down and come back up?
Since they've had those out now for several years, there's people that have mastered them, and they can do all kinds of spinny, wild, crazy things in the air and then dive down in and back up.
I'm afraid that I would jetpack myself right down into the water and not be able to right myself, and then just
go down to the bottom and stay there.
Yes, just continue to thrust myself.
We're watching video footage. They now have them where you can strap them on your feet.
Yeah. It's basically just a board.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I wouldn't do that one. I would not do that one.
Killed on these.
Casey, who would be more?
Just screaming down to the ocean floor.
Where's Daddy? Anybody see Daddy?
Please welcome Lil Rel Howery to the show.
What up?
This morning, Rel.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
You bet, man. Thanks for coming in. For those who may not be familiar with you, you've had so many great, awesome roles, and you won the MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance in the movie Get Out. That had to have been a nice little feather in the cap, getting an award for that.
Yeah, it was actually really dope because also last night my friend Tiffany Haddish
received the same award.
Yeah. Yes.
We just took it. I told her this morning, like, back-to-back years.
And she's in Uncle Drew.
Yeah, she's in Uncle Drew also, which is such a fun movie, man, we did.
So explain for people who are familiar, they may have seen the commercials. There were the commercials were featuring the character of Uncle Drew. Explain what Uncle Drew is about.
So it started from, so people don't know this, Kyrie came up with Uncle Drew, and
He created it?
It's based on his dad.
Wow.
His dad still plays basketball. So he basically created this he's better as an older version of his dad, but his dad still plays all the time. Just this older guy who's on the court still balling dudes.
Yeah. So it was him who came up with the idea this guy who sort of schools some street ballers.
And the first time he did, I think forget. So they did it in Chicago first, and nobody knew who it was. So it was actually a real court, real game. He showed up in the old man stuff, balled everybody out. I didn't even know it was Kyrie until maybe like the fourth commercial.
Yeah, because it was hard. The makeup was done, first off, very well. You could obviously see body-wise, the guy, it would have been an exemplary shape. But the facial makeup was very well done.
It was very well done. That's what was so amazing about the movie with all the prosthetics, with all the players.
Yeah.
I'm almost forgot how everybody looked in real life.
Did you?
Because they'll be in there for 5 hours. So when I show up on set, they already old. And when I left, they were still old. So I literally forgot how everybody looked until Kyrie did that press conference when he went to the Celtics. And I was like, oh. That's your face.
Well, in the movie, so you have a team, and you have your adversary is Nick Kroll, which is borderline science fiction that he's got, but I got it. So he's your adversary because he plays a good prick. So you guys are playing off against each other. He sort of steals he just crushes you. He's your adversary.
Yeah, he's destroyed my life in different times.
So that spurs you on to
have to find somebody to help me, and that's when I heard about Uncle Drew from different people, like the guys at the barbershop tell me about him, but I've never seen him.
It's the stuff of legend, but you figure you'll explore it.
Like, come on, whatever. So it was like when Dax, his name, my character, discovers Drew, was really by mistake. This was after I couldn't find any new players to play on my team. Went around all these different playgrounds, and I just happened to be at a playground and see Drew take on this dude one-on-one. That's when I approached him.
And so what his one deal is, he'll do it, but he has to be able to pick his own teammates.
Right, that's where the story gets hilarious and fun. That it's taking this road trip to pick up all these other old dudes.
And you're getting older versions of these great players.
Shaq and Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Preston mentioned Get Out.
Yeah.
We had Jordan Peele in, I guess he was still working on Get Out. He was in promoting, I think it was Keanu.
Yeah.
And it became clear as we were talking that he was just a huge horror fan in this whole thing. And he was simultaneously sort of excited but nervous about what Get Out would be. None of you could have seen how this would take off the way it did.
No, I mean, when we did it, it was one of those things where, like, either this is going to do well or it's not, right? And it wasn't a big budget, so we all did do it because we love Jordan Peele, and I just love the script. Once the trailer came out and then we went to reshoot the ending, I'm like, oh, I think this is gonna do good.
What was your first indication? Was it it was the trailer.
The trailer. It was the trailer.
Yeah,
the way when my family started calling me, like, we can't wait to see this. I'm like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Why did you reshoot the ending?
Well, I wanted to ask about that too, because I watched both endings, and we don't want to betray what happens at the end of the movie.
Wait, I didn't know there's two.
It's on the disc.
On the disc.
You get it on.
You can see the original.
They actually got it on YouTube too. I mean, the original ending.
Which one did you like better? Before you go into the story about that,
I appreciate the original because it was real.
Yep.
But then also, I knew as a fan of movies, we just needed a hero, man.
Yeah, it needed to have a more satisfying ending. I know what you mean.
People would have left the theater with different energy if we would have kept. Because when I saw the first cut, it was with the original ending, and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was.
But you know what? Because he's I mean, here's the difference. Horror, and they'll say horror comedy. I like my horror. You can have some comedy, and you provide the comedy.
But you know what made it work, though? Because Jordan wrote it real.
He wrote it real. Yes, you can tell.
All I was the audience that watched the movie.
And that's why it works. When they try to yuck it up, that's when they screw it up. Because that would have undermined what is really a brilliant horror movie that works on multiple levels.
Yeah. And what was masterfully done was that the trailer thought you were getting into one thing and the movie got you into something else. And you're like, whoa. That's hard to pull off.
How much of your character of the, first off, do you ever have to go through TSA ever now?
So I'll tell you something funny about that. They show love when I show them. Oh man, we appreciate you, but you still got to take your shoes off. So I still get no real love. I still got to do everything. They still do it. Like they take their job more seriously now, which is crazy. Like,
well, you give them a sense of pride. Was there any on-set ad-libbing because you seem so natural? Your simultaneous pride and condemnation of him for going in the first place.
So the funny thing about it is, I thought I was saying stuff that was scripted, and then we did a panel, and Jordan was like, nah, this is you just saying stuff.
Wow, that's great.
But he let me do that. He'll have, like, we'll do the takes where I do everything scripted, and if I do a real take. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, if anyone's going to appreciate comedic ability.
It's Jordan. Yeah, that's why he's a great director.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, talking about being on the set and improving lines, and we have Adam McKay as a friend of the show, and he says he'll laugh when someone's riffing on set and doing the deal, and that actually encourages the actors.
We got $1,000 to give away.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, your word is victory. Victory. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com or the MMR app, or you can text it. Special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry will win $1,000 in this company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. So make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules at WMMR.com, and it's sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Again, the word for you now is victory, Victory. Make sure you enter that now. We're going to take a look at traffic, our final one of the day. Let's see what's happening there. Kath, what you got for us?
So Coney Palmyra Bridge on standby for a drawbridge opening. There are 2 ships coming through. On 422 westbound, you're stopped between 202 and Route 23. There's a slow-moving maintenance crew that's blocking a lane, so that's causing the delay on 422 this morning. Schuylkill eastbound, still slow as Gladwin into Belmont. It's then heavy the Boulevard to the Vine. Westbound is jammed Bear Avenue to the Vine. Slow again from City to Belmont. 95 southbound, slowing the Betsy Ross Bridge into the Vine. The Vine westbound jams 95 to Broad Street. Eastbound at Broad Street, that accident off to the shoulder now. The Platte Bridge westbound slows 26th Street to the downside. That's right lane construction. Also on the Commodore Barry Bridge, you're jammed now eastbound. The right lane closed with construction. 42 north, the off-ramp at Creek Road closed for construction. And then also northbound from the Atlantic City Expressway to the Black Horse Pike, we've got left lane construction. This traffic report brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Protect your home and auto. And when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you'll save money. Get a quote at progressive.com. That's progressive.com. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Waste Management and the Bagster.
The Bagster.
Buy yours now at any home improvement store, just $29.99. You fill it up, they pick it up on your schedule, and the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. Buy, fill, gone. All right, so deputies in Florida have arrested Xavier Pee Wee Hearns for exposing himself at least twice in 1 week. First at the neighborhood Walmart store, and then at a Burlington store.
Oh.
Burlington's, is that the Coke Factory?
Yeah. Actually, it's actually a good store.
Investigators reviewed security footage and identified Hearns as a suspect who had also been previously arrested last month.
Hey, take that stuff back to Walmart.
For a similar incident at a Target store.
Oh, now we're pissed.
Charlotte. Hearns is currently being held at the Charlotte County Jail without bond, and the sheriff's office is asking anyone else who may have been exposed to his actions to come forward. And it's interesting, a guy named Pee Wee would go around flashing his junk to people. Apparently, that's what he does. The remains of a Newfoundland trucker who went missing in Ontario 2 weeks ago were found in the back of his truck trailer in his home province, even though his rig was a key piece of evidence in the search and the place where he was last seen. They've been looking for him for 2 weeks.
Right.
He was in his own truck.
Why didn't they check the truck?
I don't No, because it was a key piece of evidence
Oh
as
my
well.
God, that seems to be an obvious.
Police confirmed.
Have you checked his house? No.
Police confirmed that Brian Lush's body was recovered inside the truck's trailer.
We've got nothing. We've searched nowhere.
On Monday, the police said that Lush had been found dead, and that was all. The press release did not disclose where.
Was he a Lush crumb bum?
Maybe, for all we know. He was a Lush.
You are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
Yeah, it's a big, prominent family in Canada.
Lush had last been seen close to his truck in Ontario on April 24th on his way home to Newfoundland. The police refused to answer questions from the news about whether police had thoroughly searched the truck and trailer before sending it back to the truck's owner in Newfoundland, and if so, how investigators could have missed Lush's remains inside.
If you're a driver for a living and your last name is Lush, that's like Bill impaired driving.
You're a crumb creep.
The police said that it will review the processes involved in the search and remain in contact with Lush's family, by the way. Shelby Hewitt was able to pull off an impressive masquerade as a high schooler while at the same time holding her job as a social worker. The 32-year-old Hewitt was successful and able to pass herself off as also 13-year-old Ellie Baker and 16-year-old Danielle Blake Herrera. Got herself into 3 high schools, a treatment center, and was able to trick her therapist and her therapist's partner into becoming her foster parents.
So was this all just part of some great imposter catch me if you can sort of thing?
They don't know. The motives as to why she did this stuff are still unclear and under investigation. But it's left former classmates confused and many parents absolutely furious. It was a story that I really didn't have too many details on. That's pretty much it. So
how old are you, dear?
I'm 13.
I'll try to dig in and see if we can find out more about that. A new food-themed club is opening in New York City, and it ain't cheap if you want in on it. ZZ's is a private club that promises a food concierge who will procure any culinary experience you want, from a Thanksgiving feast to your mama's fried chicken to Iranian caviar. So far, ZZ's has reportedly received 7,000 applications for membership, with invitation-only founding members ponying up, listen to this, $50,000 as an initiation fee.
$50,000.
So that they and their families can have access to the club in perpetuity. Those same people also have to pay a $10,000 annual fee to keep their membership active.
Why does this make me think of the Freshmen?
Wow. The
group that ate, yeah. What was the name of that group? Yeah.
Oh, man.
The Verve?
No. It was like the Diners Club or something.
I thought you were talking about the song.
No. The Freshman.
I didn't get the connection
is
there.
a movie.
Yeah, with Brando.
With Matthew Broderick and Brando.
I was way off.
Okay. This week.
Shiloh?
Shut up. Sounds like Shiloh, Steve.
This week, outside applicants were also allowed to apply for a $10,000 initiation fee as well as the $10,000 annual fee. So, mystery cash has been found stashed in multiple locations in Marysville, Ohio, according to the police. They said that more than $20,000 was found in a bathroom at an Avalon theater last weekend. And then last Thursday night, over $10,000 was found in the bathroom of a Kentucky Fried Chicken location.
That's red look.
Police say over $40,000 has been found so far in total, and in each location, the money was hidden in a way that you would have to know where to look in order to find it. At this point,
how was it found?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's believed that the discoveries are connected, but it is not clear how just yet. So that's kind of weird.
That is wild.
Laying around. All right, and then we'll do one more story. This is a tragic one to end on, but definitely worthy of the bizarre file. A man has died after he was trapped under a steamroller.
Oh, my God.
At a work site in Ontario. It's the same place that trucker was missing. Police say that they were called to assist an ambulance call. There, they found an unconscious man trapped beneath a steamroller. It's unclear how the man became trapped beneath the machine. Emergency crews removed.
They said he was depressed.
They removed the steamrollers And they flat out said life-saving measures were taken after emergency personnel couldn't detect the man's vital signs.
Jeez, man, that's a brutal way to go.
Yeah, police said the Ministry of Labor is now leading an investigation. An incident is like we had the woman rolled over by that big steel tube.
Yes.
The other day. Messed up. All right, and there you go. That's the bizarre file for you. All right, so you got yourself about 5 minutes left. Enter the word victory for our Good Money It contest. And make sure you do that now. Victory is the word. And you can enter it at WMMR.com via the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number 45911. Victory. Good luck to you. We'll take a break. We're going to give some more stuff away. We'll do less in question, trash, music, news when we get back.
You as a performer, when you're doing something, do you like to hear response, or does it throw you off? Because technically, you're not supposed to be hearing someone laughing, but how does it work?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on what it is. Like, so if it's, for instance, like, it's not, I'm trying to plug this, but I got a show on Fox this year called Real, a sitcom.
Yes.
I like a live studio audience because I like to hear it right away. It's easy to write to that. I give you a perfect example of not that environment is doing Get Out. I kept trying to make Daniel, who played, I just wanted to make him laugh. Like, he had to be sad. So I'm like saying all this crazy. That's why when you see those outtakes of me doing it, it's me trying to make him laugh, trying to break him. So, like,
awesome.
There you cut, and we had to give him 2 minutes to just laugh.
Yeah.
Because he's so good. He was just, I'm like, I got to break this dude. But he was such a really good actor, man.
Guys, let's give it up for Lil Rel Howery.
Thank you for having me.
I noticed that there was another video that was released from Pastor Jesse Duplantis.
Oh, our favorite, the jet and pastor.
That is absolutely correct. And, he still wants his new private jet. But he wants to make it clear that he's not actually asking anybody for money.
Listen to these verbal gymnastics that he's doing here. I think even he's surprised at how much this caught on because it just sort of swept across. It became a viral meme. And where these guys, it'd be easier to get away with this stuff maybe 10 years ago. And now it was just all over the place. It was on the national news. He was asking for his $54 million jet.
Yeah.
And we played audio of him walking down the hallway of his establishment there, his church, for whatever he calls it, pointing to the different jets he's owned. He has had 3 before. He needs this 4th $54 million jet that carries a lot of fuel, so he won't have to stop as he's spreading the word of the Lord.
That's it. So here's a couple of clips, and let's see what he has to say about not actually asking for money.
He didn't ask for money.
Here we go.
I'm not asking you to pay for my plane. The Lord said, I didn't ask you to pay for it. I asked you to believe for it. I don't dupe nobody. I've always been honest. 40 years I've been preaching this gospel, and I've never had a scandal. And this is not a scandal. I'm not discouraged. I'm not distressed. In fact, I am excited. I've never had this much press in my life. Well, that's negative. It don't make no difference.
And it's negative. It don't make no difference.
Don't make no difference.
So he's asking.
I am excited about all this negative press painting me as a money-sucking prick.
Yeah. So he said, I asked you to believe for it.
Believe for it.
Not to pay for it.
Now, if your method of believing involves your checkbook, I'm absolutely happy with that.
He had said, I never raised money for the plane. I put it in our magazine and said, believe God with me. He said there's a vast difference between believe in God and asking for money.
He's a Journey song, Preston. Don't stop believing.
Yeah. In the earlier video,
I'm just a small town preacher, living in a lonely world.
He could turn it around.
Yeah, turn it around.
Yeah, he used to take the train everywhere.
Yeah, but I took a $54 million jet going anywhere.
So, without further ado,
WMMR presents Bucksco versus Delco.
Here we go, gang. This is going to be the final round today. Actually, 2 rounds of competition, same contest, but we are going to make this whole thing happen and finish it up today, and we are going to crown a victor, and that's all there is to it. Before we get to the final event, here is a recap of the events leading up to this epic showdown. Listen, the week started off with Operation Evac, a race where the contestants were blindly dropped into enemy territory. Kathy started at Casey's golf course, Paxton Hollow in Delco, and Casey in Bucksco at Kathy's alma mater, Pennsbury. Now, without using GPS, they had to navigate their way to their home base.
Just go straight. Thank you. Okay, go straight. peel wheel.
I feel like there's probably another route this way.
While Casey was stuck in traffic on the turnpike,
That could work in our favor.
Kathy was able to navigate back to Bucks County, earning her 200 points.
It's a bunch of crap!
For day 2, both contestants needed a call for reinforcements. Kathy asked her best friend, Elisa, a.k.a. Queen Bee, and Casey brought in his big brother, Dave, a.k.a. Foz. The contestants and their partners mind-melded, then competed in a thrilling match of the Pyramid Game.
All right, this is where the U.S. Open was? Oh, that's, Aronimink. No. Oh, Marion, sorry. That's the one you just said? Marion. No, the other one.
In the end, Kathy got an even bigger lead with 430 points, but Casey was right at her heels with 320 points. Day 3 brought us into the skies. We blindfolded Kathy and Casey, flew them in a helicopter over an unidentified spot in their respective county, and they had 30 seconds to guess what town they were hovering over. Casey had some difficulty figuring it out, earning 200 points.
I guess Knowlton is in media.
That's correct. Yes, you got it. But Kathy got it on her first try, bringing in an additional 300 points.
I'm going to say Ben Salem.
That is absolutely correct.
Day 4 was a doubleheader. Kathy and Casey went head-to-head in a county spelling bee, and then had to answer questions from Delco versus Bucksco from 5 years ago. Casey must have done his homework, because he was finally able to pull ahead. And so, the totals going into the final day: Kathy, 1,030. Casey, 1,170. Casey is leading in the competition so far, so I defer to Casey to decide who gets to go first.
Ladies first.
All right,
So
ladies first is what we're going to do. So, Kathy, taking a look at the categories, which one would you like to begin with? Geography and transportation, sports, entertainment, schools and education, shopping, landmarks, history, or food and drink?
I guess I'll go shopping.
Shocker! I know. And how much would you care to wager in that particular category?
I'm going to go 50 points.
Kathy, what outdoor shopping area between New Hope and Doylestown hosts a place called Giggleberry Farm?
New Hope and Doylestown. I'm going to say Peddler's Village.
And that's correct for 50 points.
I don't know
Kathy.
what giggles whatever is, but
Casey, it is your turn. What category do you want to go with next?
Let's go sports.
Sports.
And I will go sports for 60.
All right, sports for 60 points. Here we go. Casey, your question. In Newtown Square, a famous heir lived on a large piece of land where he hosted a wrestling camp for Olympic athletes. What is his name?
DuPont.
Yes, that is correct.
Well done.
okay, let's go schools and education for 50 points, Preston.
All right.
Schools and education for 50 points.
All right. Kathy, what is the Council Rock North mascot?
Oh,
Council Rock North mascot. The mascot one would find at that school.
I don't know. The Rock.
Okay, so you're going to go with The Rock?
I'm going to go with The Rock.
That's incorrect. They are the Indians.
I did not know that.
Go, Rock. Go.
What year did the Springfield Mall open?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, why couldn't you ask me what year
He didn't.
Target opened?
Just ask it. Just ask it.
Kathy's very supportive.
This is the history of your county.
I
Man.
know, I know. And Target opened in 2005. But, you know,
Well, can you use that?
Wanamaker's closed in 95. Hex opened after that.
You did study. You lied to me.
No, my mom quizzed me last night. We were eating chili, and she asked me lots of trivia.
We're eating chili.
We're eating chili.
Yeah.
Meet you in the basement. I'm bringing a pen.
I mean, the first Wawa opened in 1964.
Okay, yeah, let's get to the
I
ball.
will say.
If you got this right.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw out a number there. I'm going to go with the year I was born, 1975.
Oh, my God.
No, it was 74. Dude, you were so close. All right,
Man.
you call no fair on that because it was before you were born?
No, I'm not going to call no. It was just that's a difficult question.
This historic restaurant is located along the Delaware River in historic Bristol Borough and has hosted both kings and presidents.
Yep, I've been there.
Once again, this historic restaurant located along the Delaware River in historic Bristol.
My mom is going to kill me.
Borough.
That's a weird name for a restaurant.
And has hosted both kings and
Oh my God, what is
presidents.
it called?
No, go to your happy place.
I know where it is. I know where I sat last time I was there.
Kathy handles stress very well.
She knows I love it when she yells.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Cracks me up. Mm-hmm. All right, think about it. Think about it.
Work from your seat backwards.
It's like there's like a little hill when you walk in. It's like a little railing outside, a statue.
Miss Romano is here. Welcome to.
I don't even know if this. I'm gonna say Georgine's.
Georgine's?
Yeah.
That's incorrect. You're going to kill yourself over this one. It's King George.
Yes! It is! I have a gift card in my wallet for that place!
King George the what?
The second.
King George the second. I've not been.
Yeah.
So have you been there?
Yeah,
We should just carry on the discussion. I've been there!
I like the statue. Yeah, the statue and the railing are really nice.
Oh, man. I mean, like, I can picture it to a T. Exactly
All right.
where I sat. My mom gave me a gift card.
You have a gift
I wish my mom quizzed me last night.
All right, so I have already closed out sports and I've closed out history.
No, you haven't. You haven't done any history.
Well, yes, I have. All of my shopping questions were freaking history questions.
Oh, my.
Wow. This
Thank
is
you.
what we've been
Thank
waiting
you.
for.
Yes.
Impugning the contest itself.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen.
It was good, though, right? What year?
Idol 93.3 WMMR White Wedding. It's 10:21. Preston and Steve radio program. Thursday morning, right on the edge of No Sad Bro. And Penridge High School, our next coolest teacher school, voting for today. So today we had congratulated Allison Ferriola of Conestoga, TV production, film, newspaper advisor as well. By the way, Nick, I remember she said is there a program called Stoga, she said? Is that what Conestoga goes by for a nickname?
The brief or the nickname is Stoga.
It's Stoga. Okay, cool.
But she sent me a really nice email, and she loved being on the show this morning. And it was cool that I did a career day with them a couple of years ago, and I said this before, but like the program that they have at that school for people wanting to get into broadcasting or communications, it's for a high school program is unbelievable.
Excellent. Penridge. So you guys get to vote. Details to PrestonandSteve.com and how to do all that. You just text word teacher to 39333. All right, we're going to give something else away right now because we have our lesson question, and we have a Philadelphia signature bottomless mimosa brunch cruise for two aboard the Spirit of Philadelphia. If you can answer this question correctly. Which religion believes in the tenet that don't impress me much? 215-263-WMMR. Which religion believes in the tenet that don't impress me much? 215-263-WMMR. Call us if you know the answer.
That don't impress me much.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Rita's. You can head to Rita's to try their brand new Oreo frozen coffee. Rita's takes their cold brew frozen coffee and blends it with delicious Oreo cookie pieces. It is the perfect pick-me-up. Be cool, eat a Rita's. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Tom Selleck is clarifying comments he made on CBS Sunday Morning, leading some people to believe he might lose his California ranch due to financial reasons. Selleck says he was being a bit dramatic and actually has a producing oil field hidden in his mustache.
Oh. Hey!
Warner Brothers confirming a new Lord of the Rings movie is in the works for release in 2026. The movie is based on a new story that finds Gollum working as a high-priced couture model.
No way.
Oh my God.
And finally, Sydney Sweeney will portray legendary female boxer Christy Martin in a new biopic. Sweeney says she's honored to be able to portray Martin as a woman with huge jugs. That's your Hollywood trash.
All righty. We shall see if someone knows the answer to this. Which religion believes the tenet that don't impress me much? We will go Let's see. We'll go to Lou and see if we can get an answer. Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, bud. All right. Lou, which religion believes a tenet that don't impress me much?
The answer is Twainist.
Twainist. That is correct, sir.
Don't impress me much.
Yeah, but hang on the line, bud. We're going to set you up. You just got yourself a Philadelphia Signature bottomless mimosa brunch cruise for two aboard the Spirit of Philadelphia. And you can board the Spirit of Philadelphia for the best bubbly brunch in the city. Enjoy a delicious chef-prepared buffet, bottomless mimosas, and DJ entertainment. Enjoy city landmarks like the Ben Franklin Bridge from your reserved table, the dance floor, or the roof deck lounge.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
It's brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com now, and you can put your small refundable deposit down to go to spring training next March with us.
Yes.
It's phillysportstrips.com. Just two things to pass along. In March, Fall Out Boy took the stage at a sold-out Madison Square Garden for Fall Out Boy Live from Madison Square Garden, which treated the crowd to a flame-throwing guitar, the first ever full band rendition of Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying, and a surprise guest appearance from the Academy is Will Beckett to perform Slow Down. And now the band is collaborating with streaming service Veeps to globally broadcast the epic concert on June 7th.
They just got the world on a platter.
The show will be available at no cost to Veeps All Access subscribers in the U.S., and for the global viewing, it'll be $11.99. 11? Oh. And then one more thing. Coheed and Cambria are thrilling fans with the release of the rare standalone track, The Joke. This comes from the sessions for their Vaxis 2 LP and is accompanied by a B-side in the form of a remixed and remastered version of their 2011 song Deranged.
It's the Abu Dhabi joke.
That was originally part of the Batman Arkham City soundtrack. What's the difference between people in Dubai and Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, the people of Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but the Abu Dhabi do.
That's right, yes.
I heard a little bit of the song. There was a little clip. It's too short to kind of include, but I like their stuff, man. The song sounds great,
and they're nice guys. What's that?
We have a clip.
Yeah,
we
sure.
do. Wow.
That was Josh Groban. My bad.
That's okay. The special offering. The 2011 song, did I already say it was part of Arkham City, Batman Arkham City? Yeah. The special offering is available on limited edition 7-inch vinyl through the band's website and exclusive retailers. The new music comes ahead of the band's extensive summer tour plans, which will see them co-headline shows with Primus before supporting Incubus.
They were great in on the show and getting turned on to their music. And we were playing one of the singles, right, from the at that period. I wonder if Chuck is thinking about adding the new one.
No. Then in October, they'll headline Furnace Fest and perform their 2005 album Good Apollo. I'm Burning Star 4 from Fear Through the Eyes of Madness in full at the When We Were Young festival. So,
ding, ding.
Ding, ding. And that is what I have.
Ding, ding.
Unbelievable. That's all I have in music news for you this morning.
One of my favorite sounds.
Will you?
Will you want my love? Will
you want my love?
Will
we need
you?
All right. We have one final break to take before we wrap up today's program, so that is exactly what we're doing right now. We'll come back and get the letter of the day, and of course, that'll get you closer to winning our Word of the Week prize. So stay put. It's coming up next.
Stupid questions. Let's go food and drink. Maybe
food and drink.
Food and drink.
Food and
for
drink.
how much? For 50.
Food and drink for 50.
Preston's not even picking
Come on,
his
man.
head
That was
up.
a good joke.
Okay. All right. You get this wrong. You get this wrong. And if you lose this whole thing, this is all your fault.
Okay.
All right. You ready for this?
It better be a softball.
A large Pika's pizza.
Oh my God! Costs how much?
Is cut into how many slices?
Oh, okay. That's a really, really crap question.
A large Pika's pizza is cut into how many
do a little
slices?
Diagram, whatever you want to do.
There's the box.
Round, and
it's a
then there's
rectangular
line.
shape, right, Case?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's drawing.
All right, so that is that's a Neapolitan, right, or is it Sicilian square?
No, they just do their own version. They put the sauce on top of the cheese.
12.
Right.
Casey says 12. Damn right you got that right. And what did you wager on that?
50.
1,000 points.
The scores are as follows. Bucks County, 1,070 points. Delaware County, 830 points. But there's ground to be made up here. And we're on to round 2. Now, things are going to change quite a bit in this particular round. Our categories are going to remain the same. In the past, you've been able to pick your own category and pick your own wager up to 100 points. This time, I thought it'd be kind of nice because you guys have been avoiding certain categories. How about you pick your competitor's category and your competitor's wager in this round? Kathy's leading, and she gets to go first, and you get to pick the category that Casey will choose from and how much Casey will wager in that category.
Okay, I'm going to go history.
Okay. Of course.
For 50.
All right, history for 50. All right, Casey. Delaware County was formerly a part of which other Pennsylvania county?
I believe Chester County.
Your answer is Chester County, and that is correct, sir. Wow! Delaware County split off in 1789.
Interesting. After the great Battle of Chester Hill.
They were originally together, and therefore Casey gets 50 points in that particular one.
All right, so for Kathy, I'm going to go with. This is hard. I'll go with sports.
Of course.
For 100.
Sports for 100. All right,
So sweet.
Kathy, here's your question.
Yeah.
Who was Neshamony's starting quarterback in 1990 and current Penn State head coach?
I don't know. God, I know you're going to say it, and I'm going to recognize it, but I don't know it.
Okay, so you don't have an answer, or you're just
say a
gonna
name.
throw a name out there?
Say your name. Say your name.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, although I think he's a representative.
No, that's incorrect. Casey, do you know who it is?
It's Franklin.
Yeah, James Franklin is the correct answer. So Kathy gets docked 100 points.
All right, I'm going to. What's the difference here?
You are at 970 right
You're
now.
up by
Casey's at
90.
880.
All right, I'm going to do 50.
Okay. Keep in mind, these questions came from residents of Delaware County.
People who live there.
They want you to win.
Yeah.
But these are the only questions that I had to go off of, Casey. So no complaining, please.
Well, no. I've already done all my complaining for the day.
I'm sure there'll be no more complaining.
You've got more to go.
I got
This site, recently home to the Countryside Market in Swarthmore, or is it Swarthmore?
I say Swarthmore.
Swarthmore.
Uh-huh.
Was a convenience store in the 1980s. The convenience store had 3 names before becoming the Countryside Market. You just have to name one of those.
Soups? Or like supers?
Incorrect.
Ooh.
No.
Really?
It was either Eddie's, Albert's, or Evans.
Okay.
All right, Kathy, which former Philadelphia Eagle graduated from Pennsbury High School in Fairless Hills?
Is it Troy Vincent?
That's a good answer, and it's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1850, Delaware County's county seat moved to Media. Okay, Media is considered the county seat of Delaware. Where was it originally?
Chester.
He's right. Yeah! Chester was originally the county seat. All right, what category and what's the wager, Case?
Kath, I just want you to do well. All right, so I'm going to give you a whole bunch of points. We're going to wager 100 points on history.
History. This person was the founder of the religious school Log College and later the pastorate of Neshaminy Warwick Presbyterian Church?
Mr. Log.
Mr. Log.
Is that a real answer? I'm curious.
Yes.
Yes? No, it was William Tennant.
Mother, I knew it was. You know what? And somebody sent me not that information, but somebody sent me information about Log College.
That somebody did you a disservice.
Yeah, they did.
All right, that was William Tennant, a well-known name in Bucks County. 1,010 for Kathy, 930 for Casey.
So 80,
it's an 80
points separates the two contenders.
Last question for Casey.
Oh my God! Last question.
Can we just keep going for a little?
Well.
Oh
I'm
wow.
just kidding.
Okay, so it's an 80-point difference. This is the last question. Is there a double jeopardy?
There's something else.
Okay. All right.
You look great today,
Go ahead, say the F word, Kathy.
I know.
You want to say it so badly. We can dump it out.
The dulcet tones of Kathy Romano.
That's what Dennis hears around frisky time.
Damn it. All right, I'm gonna do entertainment.
Okay.
Entertainment.
For 10 points.
Wow, okay, see, and this is KG Eleven on 93.3 WMMR. Neon Pill. That song, the more I hear it, the more I like it. Been around for a little while now, and I still am feeling it. 10:35 in the Preston and Steve Show. About ready to wrap up the program for today. A few orders of business before we hand things over to Mr. Robert. Number one, thank you to Miss Pat for being on the show today. She is great, man. She is so funny. And what a story, her life.
It's amazing.
It's something else. She's a story of survival and success and all this stuff. So she's going to be performing in Atlantic City at Harrah's Saturday night, 8 o'clock. And tickets available at MsPatComedy.com. And congratulations to our coolest teacher, Allison Ferriola. And congratulations to our $1,000 winner we had earlier this morning. And before, I guess let's do the letter of the day first, Case.
I got you.
And then we'll mention something here.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
E, as in Elvis Costello.
All right, yep, that's part of the 4-pack of tickets to your choice of these 3 concerts that are part of Live Nation's Concert Week. Cage the Elephant, who we just heard, Daryl Hall and Elvis Costello, as Casey just mentioned, or Incubus. Concert Week is here, and you get $25 tickets to many of the area's summer concerts for 1 week only, and that's on sale now through the 14th. Go to livenation.com/concert week for tickets and info. And that Incubus show, by the way, Coheed and Camaria is going to be support on act on. So that's pretty cool, too. Before we do anything else, one of our interns is leaving. It's his last day. And as always, on their last day, we at least say something to them on the air if we haven't had a chance. Had him on before. This is Bobber John, by the way.
Yeah.
Bobber John. I'm sorry, I didn't have your mic on there, bud. Bobber John, when did you start interning with us?
Some point in the beginning of January.
At the end of January. And by the way, Bobber John, that's your first name.
Yep.
That's your entire. How do you spell that, by the way?
BOBURJON.
And what's the origin of that name?
It's Uzbek.
Uzbek.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, very interesting.
And so, where did you go to Temple, right?
Yep.
Okay. And what's your area of study?
Media studies and production, going into my senior year next year.
Okay. And Bobber John was nice enough. He helped me out. If you'll hear some of the new, what we call bumper beds, which are these music beds that we play coming in and out of commercial breaks or out of music and stuff like that.
There's a second batch he hasn't gotten around to yet.
I know. I apologize, dude. I will definitely. Part of what I was going to say here was yes. I know.
He's criticizing you on his way out.
I know he is.
That's
I know
the time
he is.
to do it.
Yep, absolutely. I have not forgotten. I definitely will get to them.
You're working them in.
A lot of stuff, but working them in from time to time. But you're kind of a metalhead, right?
Yeah, fairly. I'd say so.
Okay. Yeah,
He's
that's
also part of are you in an improv comedy group?
Not improv. It's a sketch comedy show called Temple Smash.
Temple Smash?
Quince Brunson was on the first season. She mentioned it the other day.
Very nice. Yes, she was a commencement speaker, right? Yeah, very cool.
Excellent.
Is it something, a passion of yours that you think you might want to pursue, or where do you see, after your experience here, where do you see you gravitating towards?
Yeah, it's definitely like I do want to do something that entails me being on a set.
Right.
And something along those lines. Yeah.
All right.
On the creative side?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
When do you graduate?
Next year.
Okay, one more year to go. Excellent.
One more year.
Did you enjoy your time? Did you learn a few things here?
Yeah, I learned a few things. Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Nice. All
We
right.
filled a few
His head
words.
with knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he does a one-man show. He's all talk. No.
Well, cool, man. Thank you for helping us out. We can't do it without your guys' support.
Yeah.
You're very
Yeah.
much vital to what we do.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, Bobber John, everybody. Bobber John. We say goodbye to him.
Early morning yesterday.
When is Grace's last day? And Shane, we got a couple more. They were, unfortunately,
I don't
tearing
think
me
Shane's
apart.
ever leaving.
Yeah, Shane will let us know.
Yeah.
He's working himself into like the MM Army. He's
that's good.
Bored. Yeah, take advantage of everything.
Shane's mom is younger than us. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure you guys all remember that.
Shane brought his mom in, and we're like, this is the first time I've ever noticed one of our interns' mother is younger than us.
She kept calling us sir and ma'am.
She was a big fan. Big fan. So, all right, let me do the thank yous and all the stuff that comes along with that. I would like to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Coors Light, presenting Preston and Steve's official opening of the Jersey Shore, live from Keenan's Choose Chill. Tomorrow, Friday, we will have the connoisseur segment with lots of giveaways. We will have in our studio Kevin Nealon.
We love Kevin Nealon.
And we are also going to have our good friend, local musician Don McCloskey, and he is bringing the two awesome backup singers from the band, and they're going to help us out with some things tomorrow.
We'll have our own backup singer.
We're going to have some fun with that. Something I've always wanted to have. Preston to see backup singers tomorrow morning. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
With every Wawa sandwich comes great responsibility. The responsibility to pack flavor in every bite of a honey hot chicken steak ciabatta. The conviction to satisfy every craving with the sweet heat in the honey hot Italian panini. And the duty to wake up your taste buds.